So
I am almost done cooking.
I understand that you want more NPCs to pursue you.
That is certainly the assertion that they've been making. That those people have been making.
Whoa!
What do you mean, those people?
Whoa! Those people, huh?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I mean, are you people? I would say yes. Are you those? Arguably. I think it's correct.
We're actually just really good AI that Tony's been experimenting with.
It's just the Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Did you hear Chat GPT hired somebody?
No.
Okay,
Amazing.
It's a great story. Once I get this food out of my mouth.
My personal favorite is I followed a guy that basically had he allowed himself to be the human, like, what did he call it? The human interface for Chat GPT's business, and he's like, I want it to be in tech. I want to start with less than $500, and your only goal is to make as much money as possible in the shortest period of time as possible. And in like 2.5 weeks, he had like $26,000 in pre-sold advertisement revenues for an Instagram.
That's pretty good. So the one I saw, they tasked ChatGPT with making a copy of itself using ChatGPT. And so ChatGPT starts, and they gave it a little bit of money, like access to an account. So ChatGPT starts to go through the process of creating an account using ChatGPT to make a copy of itself, and it gets stuck at the CAPTCHA screen. Rather than trying to solve the CAPTCHA, it goes to TaskRabbit and hires somebody to complete the CAPTCHA for them. But here's where it gets good. The worker on TaskRabbit asks, "Are you a robot?" And ChatGPT instantly replies, "No, I'm not a robot. I have a vision impairment that makes it hard for me to see the images. That's why I require two CAPTCHA service." And the dude just went right on through, clicked it. ChatGPT got past the CAPTCHA and continued its task. Like,
So now AI will readily lie.
Yeah.
and convincingly lie.
We are not far from Skynet. Which is still a reference two of you don't get, and I'm very upset.
Wait, who doesn't get the
Who
reference?
doesn't get that?
I
reference?
get it. I just haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Terminator?
Nope.
Who
Oh,
was
I
the
thought you
second
were
one?
referring to Skynet, the cyber brain from Fallout 2 that you can get in one of the military bases, which is based on Terminator, Skynet.
Oh, no,
Anyways,
the references
So,
are
Watch Party, Terminator 2, Judgment Day?
yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right, we're all agreed. Or at least one person did, and I took that as consensus.
I feel like you get Blake for free.
What's that?
Huh?
Two
I
for
said I
one.
think you get Blake for free whenever Sam wants to do anything. You're just like a package, right?
No, we're very different people.
Yes, but I can incentivize you.
That's true.
that's what I meant.
She can definitely incentivize.
Blackmail, bribe.
Yeah.
Honestly, it
No,
sounds like I'm
blackmail
doing
you
you a
with
favor
blackmail.
here.
Generally, blackmail backfires with me.
Yeah, his embarrassment level is way lower than mine.
But my truculence is way higher.
The fuck does the word
I have to Google
truculence
that one.
mean? Yeah.
My willingness to dig my heels in just because you told me to. Like, if I am, and it's pretty bad most of the time. Like, I could literally have the trash bag in my hand halfway out of the trash can, and if Sam went like, "Hey, would you mind taking the trash out?" There's a part of my brain that'll go, "Well, guess I'm not doing that now."
Okay, I'm just gonna say it. Truculent sounds like you have like a small cactus garden in the toolbox in the back of your work truck.
Like a succulent,
Succulent.
Yeah,
It
but
sounds
it's
like
a
you're getting ready
truculent.
to be
Yeah,
isekai.
a truck
Toby.
of
You keep, it,
succulents.
you keep it in the steel toolbox. I love it.
That way, if you crash, you can fling cactuses at the enemy that fucking your truck.
And he lives
Yeah,
in the
James
right
Bond
climate
weapon.
for it, too.
Da-na-na-na-na. I think succulents can live just about anywhere nowadays. They got genetic modifications in those little motherfuckers. Also,
I
they
mean,
make them
to
out of
be fair-
plastic.
You have to just ignore it. That is the keep it moderately dry and ignore it, and it'll do just fine.
So I really love... wow. I guess I don't really love them. I forgot the name.
Yeah.
I really love orchids. And...
An expensive hobby.
yeah. But my grandmother was part of an orchid society, so she's really good at taking care of them. So like, I will bribe her to come like stay for like a week or two. Put her up in the guest room where the orchids are dying, with like just a full bag of supplies. And by the time she leaves, they are healthy again. And it's worked at least 3 times now. So I'm
Tony's
all,
grandma's got a magic thumb.
she's very
Is
good.
she part druid?
Ooh, could be. Might get more druid shenanigans today. Who wants to do the recap?
Ren betrayed us all.
Yeah.
He's dead
Sure
to us.
did. And I'll do it again with my next character.
I mean, maybe Rin was just disappointed by the fact that you guys were willing to enslave people.
He wasn't it.
He
his
was
idea?
okay with it.
It wasn't my
Sorry, I
idea.
interrupted you there, Sam, but I think we agreed.
I didn't stop it, but that doesn't make it my idea.
It was.
That's, you're not in the party anymore. We tell the story.
Yeah. He wasn't a Nazi.
Just you
he
wait
was
until
just
I
a
come
regular
back
German.
riding an army of Buellers to eat all your metal. Like a moving carpet the size of a country mile.
That sounds horrifying.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do the recap and I'll take the
Well,
inspiration to use
Buellers
against
will
Yami.
plot out the ground.
When last we met our intrepid group of adventurers, you were able to successfully best to a stalemate the witch Lucina. Although it seems that she had much more available to her to fight with, you were able to free Rustamane and prevent him from being temporarily banished to the plane of air, and thus were able to turn him in to the Tao within the caves below. She stuck to her promise and rewarded you with gifts and exclusivity. She will provide for you the metals that your city will desperately need as it scales up to war. Unfortunately, Lucina proved to be a very strong hold on Ren's heart, and he decided to part with her to see what the Dragon Army was like for himself, and to leave you all, hopefully, on good terms. You made your way back to the capital and found that the aides and various offices of Castle Caliban are struggling to keep up, match the intensity of all the moving parts that need to spin up to make this a proper garrison city, to make it able to withstand siege and then to lead out attacks against the enemy on their own, and that they are struggling a bit. At the end of the session, having spoken to Marshal Vendry's aide, he asked you to deliver a hefty and heavy couple of stacks of paperwork that were in urgent need of the governor's notice and signature. You'd remember his name is Governor Miat. So, at the start of the session, with you have a name. It's Nova and Arthanos.
Why was that a question?
Because I'm trying to remember who was there.
Oh, okay.
The two of you have stacks of paperwork and a very eager city, a very eager aide, hoping to have you take them off to the governor. What do you do now, if anything?
Well, I know Nova's seething that she has to be involved in paperwork at all.
It's more being reduced to an errand boy. Like, I don't know. Thought we were kind of big damn heroes. We were a little better than this.
Turns out we're just little bitches. No. I'm going to take a moment and because this is a substantial amount of paperwork, right?
Yeah, it's 20 pounds.
Yeah. That's 40 pounds. How? Wait, do I not have this? Yes, I do. It's just called floating disc. I'm gonna cast that as a ritual, and then put the paper on there, so I don't have to actually carry it.
Excellent. So you take the 10 minutes and cast the ritual.
Hmm.
and you and Nova can load up your stacks of paper.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. How much space is there on this floating disc? Is there enough for 40 pounds of paperwork, or is it cap out at about 20?
Well, it looks like it holds up to 500 pounds, and it's 3 feet in diameter. I'd say it can take the whole load.
3 feet. Okay. Full load.
Take
Just
the
making
whole
sure.
load.
But yeah, and then we're just taking it. I don't know. I've gone retarded again. Where are we taking it?
The governor.
governor,
Miat.
right. Right,
Um, knowing it can take 500 pounds, I'm going to sit on it, cross my legs, and start going through the paperwork, seeing if there's anything interesting to look at.
Make an investigation check.
And let me scroll through the 400 names here. Investigation.
Mhm. These names mean nothing to me. Where's the juicy stuff?
It seems like they're already preparing for rationing and quartering a lot of additional troops. It seems like a lot of the higher offices are giving way to, from their usual more exquisite meals to dining in the mess hall. The governor, though, seems to be on the move too much, and he explains in his missive that he can't make meal times in the regular in the chow hall, so he requests that he receive meals at his quarters still, and he puts some recommendations in there. It seems like he's a big meat eater. There's a lot of different types of meat that he's interested in.
All right. Nothing about like secret affairs or, missing jewels.
With your casual glance, you do not find it.
Definitely what I'm saying out loud as I go. Boring, boring, boring.
Just
Governor likes meat.
throwing him into the ditch.
Giggity.
Here's orders to reinforce a garrison to the south. Trash. The two of you can make your way astride
Yep.
the floating disc, at least one of you, and find your way towards Governor Miat's office. There is a light coming in from under the cracks of the door. You do see a couple of ready guards at the door, and they look kind of like the aide you saw. They look tired.
Right, so we've got some paperwork for Governor Meow. Would you be so kind as to let us in?
Did you just say meow?
What are you talking about? Of course not. Governor Meow.
Yeah, I'll see if he's available right now. The guard will knocks twice on the door, sticks his head in, says something, and he says, yeah, he's got a moment. He can see you right now.
Right, thank you. Yeah, go in, and I'm assuming Nova's still on the disc, not actually getting up.
Nope. Yeah.
It fits through the
Got
door,
that.
so she's comfortable.
Yeah. Legs crossed, still going through the stuff.
I'm sure the governor will love to see that. But yeah, go in and I don't know, what do we see?
So when you go in, you see him basically arranging his robes and getting ready to leave. It looks like he has a couple of aides, much like the clerk, Marshal Vendry, and the guards. They look bedraggled. He himself, the governor, looks like a lesser version of the last man you met. He's cleaning himself up a bit here in the mirror, but he looks unkempt and unshaven, and it's just... he doesn't have the regal bearing that he did the first time you saw him. He looks like he's really been put through the movements. It's a lesser person you're seeing now. But as he's straightening up his clothing and kind of runs his fingers through his hair, he says, I assume that you have from Marshal Vendry.
Yeah, a great deal of extra paperwork. The clerk was hoping to get to you.
We decided to be helpful and bring all this over since, we needed to deliver some of this stuff specialty to you anyways, so. And I kind of wait, not quite looking like I'm like asking for a tip, but like the way the doorman kind of gives you that look. Where you're like, oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm on my way out, but leave it here on the desk, and we'll have one of the aides take a look through it. And he looks over at the aides, and he says, Carmichael, see to the stack. And he points at one of them, and there's no immediate reaction. And then the aide seems to realize he's pointing at him, and just says, yes, sir. My name's not Carmichael. But Governor Miat doesn't seem to pay any attention to it, just continues sort of dressing himself up, and says, well, I do appreciate the work that you've done in bringing this here. I do have places to be, though. Seems like all of my days are full of meetings.
All right, well, just thought we'd help out since seem a bit short-handed.
We were hoping to get paid, right? That's one of the reasons why we were bringing all this to him.
Yes. So the clerk had said that you were probably not going to get paid immediately for the work that you've done, because it would require getting signed and filed and basically authorized by the governor. So he said, if you want to speed that process up, get these papers to him faster.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I'm going to pull out the contract from the mines and our paperwork that'll say that we get paid, and just bring it right over to him and just put it like in front of him, pen in hand, and go, okay, well, excellent. We'll just take your signatures here, and then we'll be on our way, and you can go to your meetings. Ooh, let me fix that tie for you. And like put the paperwork in his hands and then start adjusting his tie.
He looks down at it, and he sees this, and he says, must be speaking
Signature,
of
that's all we need.
Amber Roost Mines.
Yep, just a signature. That's all we need. There's no reason for this to take extra long. As I'm looking at it, trying to see if I can add a 0 before he signs it.
So, a point of interest, you know that you did not go to Amber Root Mines, or Amber Roost Mines.
I mean, Nova doesn't care about names. Whatever.
What was the name of the mine?
It was Gilderroot Mines. And your knowledge of the area, you know they're in completely different directions.
Actually, we were in the Gilderroot mines.
There's
Detail, right? We did our contract. We just need a signature, and we'll be out of your hair. You can go to the meetings.
There's probably several seconds of just a blank expression on his face. And then finally, there's this very obvious look of recognition. Oh. And I suppose it was successful then.
Of course it was. You sent the best. We're the best. Signature here, please.
Jesus Christ.
He quickly grabs the quill, strikes out a couple of times on a sheet of parchment, and then writes his signature. And he says, well, great work. We look forward to seeing more of you around here. And seemingly takes one last look at the mirror, seems satisfied with what he sees, and he starts to march out a little awkwardly with one of the aides trailing behind. The remaining aide just looks at the stack of paperwork left for him. He just, once again, my name's not Carmichael. And he looks very sad as he sits down and starts slowly making his way through the paperwork.
I'm gonna look over at him and go, so not Carmichael. Where do we take this now so that we get paid?
Take it back to Marshal Vendry's clerk. Now that it's signed, he can release the disbursement.
But we just came from there.
Lady, I'm not going to leave this desk for 2 or 3 days, and I still won't be half done with this paperwork, all right? Like, you got problems, we all got problems.
Sorry. Hey, it's easy. We don't need to fight. I was just saying maybe there's a better way to handle all of this. But that's fine. That's fine. This is your job, and this is the way you guys handle it. And I'm not saying it's wrong or, unnecessary footwork. But, okay, that's fine. We'll go back, and we'll get paid. And you can do your job. Arthanos, you ready? And then I'm going to pop back and sit on the floating disc.
The disc is gone now.
I fall to the ground.
But you're so confident it's there. It's just like you don't look at once. Just, whoop, nope.
Yeah.
See, I figured to get the papers onto the desk, we floated the disc over the desk, and then I got rid of it, because otherwise we'd have to lift up 40 pounds of papers, and that doesn't seem like a very Nova thing to do.
Do I take any damage from falling to the ground?
You take 1 bruise to the right cheek, but otherwise are okay.
Ego damage, 6 points.
I'm going to stand up, brush off my skirts, and be like, and you have dust bunnies under the desk, and flounce out.
Yeah. 6 points of psychic damage. You die of embarrassment. All right.
I wasn't wrong. You are like my sister. And then, walk out.
Everyone's got a thing for their sister in this group.
I don't know about thing for, but...
You guys make your way out, and as you do, you see the governor and his aide quickly trailing behind the corner in front of you. You guys can make your way back to your quarters if you would like.
I mean, are we... It sounded like Nova is of a singular mind right now. Correct me if I'm wrong there.
Now I'm bored.
Immediately bored now that we can get our money.
Yeah. Now I know it's possible. Well, we
Alright.
probably should meet up, figure out where Akash is, or do we call him Akash? Do we call him Osborne?
That's a good question. I suppose the mind is Akash, and we're talking to him rather than Osborne, who just doesn't appear to be there. So I think Akash is appropriate. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Is he gonna have to do all of Osborne's duties though, or how does?
I suppose so, unless he wants to tell everyone that he's inhabiting a member of the guard. And I feel like that's not gonna go over all that well.
Yeah.
Most of them probably don't understand magic to begin with. Never mind the concept of possession and all that. Well, how common would something like that be, Tony? Like the idea of a possession, like some sort of spirit possessing
How common
somebody.
are ghosts?
Well,
Tell me about ghosts.
I don't know. In this magical fucking realm, Austin, I'm unsure.
We don't have gods, so I don't know what we know about the
What?
afterlife.
I was talking to Tony, Kevin. I
Oh.
said, tell us about ghosts.
Okay, I thought you. Yeah, all right.
Thought I was rizzing you. You're just too used to it at this point. You're expecting it.
Yeah, thought you were taking the piss.
So, I mean, Kevin's insecurity aside, ghosts are known. You would know that the tradition in Bogler was that supposedly the part of the reason that they did the reenactment was to appease the spirits left behind from that old ancient battle. There are definitely stories, not a lot of interaction that is credible, but certainly some accounts that have some legitimacy to them. I guess what I'm saying is they're not Harry Potter common, but you're aware that it seems to be
Unless
more than
they're
just
me.
fiction.
Okay, so it's just like they exist, but it's unlikely that you're gonna run into one.
Yes, right. Except the elephant in the room. I mean, the ghost in the room. I mean, the ghost in the castle. I mean, the ghost in your friend.
Yeah. I just mean like the average person is unlikely to run into one. Not us specifically, because
Yeah,
we're
I mean-
above average
Right, yeah.
in autism. But yeah, all right. And yeah, I suppose we should. Well, we should keep it a secret. Who knows what he'll end up saying? But I suppose we'll see. Do you, now that we can get our money, do you want to go do that, or do you?
What time of day is it now? Tony?
It is the
Are we-
evening.
Evening? Oh, he's probably gone home, or hopefully gone home. Oh, I can't imagine how crabby he'd be if he's still there. We'll save it for the morning.
You didn't seem to have much problem pushing that poor aide in there, though. I feel like this is a bit of a change of heart you've had quite quickly.
I mean,
Was it
we
just
can...
him getting upset?
No, just kind of bored. We got the signatures. We know we can get the money. I'd rather see what everyone else is doing. I don't know. Maybe we can get Akash to go get it.
Are you upset that you fail?
So, I don't know what you saw.
Bingo.
Sorry, go on.
Nova's at a loss for words. I mean, the floor was really uneven, and I think I just like caught something and went down. But like I'm fine, you know. But like I definitely didn't just like fall. I mean, look, we don't need to talk about it. I'm fine.
Okay, if you say so, I'll suppose I've got to take your word for it. All right, we'll leave that for tomorrow. Then they're overboard as is. Let's. Well, yeah, I guess let's go find Akash.
Yeah,
That was the idea. Yeah.
Akash was prone to getting into trouble when he was just Akash. I'm a little worried what Akash is going to do with a soldier's pass around here.
Right, he was a bit uncoordinated when he's trying to get used to his body. I wonder if he's fallen as well.
Oh, good. We're just gonna. That's the main thing we remember. Excellent.
Should
I'm
probably
looking at
find-
I'm looking through my spells right now, trying to figure out if there's a way to modify memory.
It's 7th level.
I
Yeah,
know. Damn.
not yet. Get him a level.
Part of magical discovery means that you're practicing spells long before you get them. So, like, I imagine just like every morning, you wake up, Arthanos, and you're just like, it's weird. Everything tastes purple. That's wow. Words are really hard. It's just a moment of weirdness, and that's Nova just fucking with your brain pan.
I mean,
It's like when they're doing brain surgery and they keep you awake.
yeah. I wouldn't call it fucking with it. I'd say tinkering, maybe. Tinkering's a more benign word.
When it comes to the brain.
Well, you're the one who didn't play by the social rules and just forget that it happened.
Social rules. What are those?
Oh boy.
Yeah, hasn't he mentioned several times his character is built not to be a part of the social rules? I
He's
feel
the
like that's
farmer,
a core
man.
character
Yeah,
trait.
usually by now he's talking about like butt stuff and horses. Goats.
That's not in character though. That's me.
I was talking about Akash, yeah.
Oh,
Only one character is mentioned being elbow deep in something, and it wasn't Kevin.
it's
Was
true.
it? Is that true? Man, I just, I remember it and I just lumped it in the Kevin category. It's weird.
Wasn't
Must
though.
have been Blake.
Somebody's
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
with my
totally.
mind.
It was definitely our red man that loved big women.
Hey, listen. You leave the big women out of this.
I've immortalized that man. He can do no wrong. I've just washed away all the impurities of memory.
Oh boy. Alright, back to
Yeah.
our group.
Let's find Akash. Sure.
Akash, where are you? Are you in their quarters?
Well, so I will point out that Akash has no idea where that is. Though I guess that's not necessarily true, right? He was a passenger in what was that? Who was that one little guy that used to hang around?
We have a little guy that hates her.
Next.
The one
or
that's next to
something?
you?
Mystery continue.
I don't know. I'll leave it up to you, man. Did he know where the court? Was he clear enough and lucid enough when he was a passenger in Nex to gather
you have actually a very conscious understanding of what's going on. It was a little hazy at first, but
Sure.
interestingly enough, if you separate too far from Gex, you notice that some of that haze starts to return.
Oh, how interesting.
Oh, are you going to be the only one that remembers him?
Oh my god, you're Spren. It's happening.
Oh, I like when
Um,
Austin just makes random Brandon Sanderson quotes or references.
Okay. Then yeah, I will probably head towards the. I will be in the quarters.
Okay. Gex, where are you?
So I remember painting flames onto my box.
To make it go faster, yeah.
So I don't need paint job. I
are you
need possibly wheels, because my back is killing me.
He's got to paint it red. Red goes fast. Yellow goes to space. Red goes fast.
Space, you say? Where can I acquire small wheels so I can like drag this thing along instead of just on my back always?
Where do you think you can acquire small wheels?
It's not at the large wheel store.
That'd be the first place I go to.
Large wheel store?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a wagon repair shop called Wheels or No Wheel.
You guys hear that voice? Where's that coming from?
Probably the goblin.
Is the gnome that we helped here still here?
She is.
Oh
She's
no!
not in your quarters, but she is here in the castle.
I
He's
most
gonna-
definitely want to find her and see if she can modify this box.
All right.
I was gonna say like that. She sounds like the person to go to, but
The box is gonna have cannon and wings. And
Literal rocket ship.
It takes you a little bit of time, but you are able to find him. And when you do, you find that she has been allocated, it looks like a large section of previously empty castle. It's a little bit in, not disrepair, but unkempt. She doesn't seem to have spent any time cleaning it up. She's just kind of moved in and gotten straight to business. And you can see there are tons of raw materials, a functional forge, bellows. Currently, it looks like there are a couple of castle aides that are coating various banners, parchment, things like that in wax to keep them from burning so close to the forges. It's a busy place, but she is quickly organizing and sorting material, and every time it seems like she picks something up, she starts to work on it and then just loses focus and moves over to something else and starts working on it. It looks like, again, she has several projects opening at the same time. As you enter and she starts flitting about, it takes her a moment to notice you. And she'll say, welcome back.
So I will still have this on my back. How far away from my quarters would this place be?
3 levels and, I don't know, 6-7 minutes.
So I'm slightly out of breath.
Maybe 2
but
or
not-
3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Not out of breath then. You'd be like, can you, and I kind of take it from my back and put it on the first available table nearby, if there is one.
Yes.
Can you
bring it over to a table to drop it off, and it's the only clear spot, and it's next to this incredibly beautiful short sword that looks like it's shining with pure platinum.
Oh, shit.
And you just drop it in the empty space right next to it.
So I'm just going to be looking at the short sword when I be like, can you possibly modify this? And I'm moving the box with my available hand while the other one is slowly going toward the sword.
She seems a little unfocused. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. And
Oh, boy.
what sort of modifications were you hoping for?
Something to easier to travel. Wheels, preferably of the small variety.
This is a Foot Locker, is it not?
Yeah, it's also a bed. I show her like blankets and pillows inside.
She thinks about it for a moment. Well, I was going to say maybe you would benefit from some sort of additional carrying capacity, but instead it seems like you're just looking for a place to nap.
Yeah, very much.
That's boring. That's really boring. I'll send you a couple wheels in the morning. If you'd like, since you've been so kind to the cause here, and your friend Osborne did mention that little misunderstanding that we had, I'll just go ahead and throw some wheels on you. Just leave that there. And about this time, you're pretty convinced as she turns away that you can make a play for the sword if you'd like.
I feel like I have to.
You don't have to. I don't want you to feel like you have to rob the gnome that, helped you and helped you.
I will help her with this.
Okay.
At some point, sometime.
With
Tom
what?
doesn't
With
find it.
taking this off of her hands? Like,
Something will attack her, maybe a lava roll out of the castle, and I'll be like, haha, I have a platinum blade. And then promptly die. But
see what you mean. Okay.
You grab the sword. It feels perfect. And very faintly in the back of your mind, much like when Akash was there. And Akash, wherever you are at in the castle, you hear it too. You hear a voice that says, "Slay evil."
Well, now Tony's doing it.
is this a voice I've heard in the past?
No.
I go, all right. Kind of shrug and take the sword and kind of.
Rugeldust will kind of make dismissive gestures with her hands. And she says, "Just leave it there, next to the cursed weapons, and I will get back to you in the morning."
I'm going to certainly look to see if there are other weapons.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
There's actually a small pile that none of them look clean, pristine, and usable like this one. Some of them look like they've been melted, but still have like the basic shape. More than a few of them look like they're covered in rust. This is the only one that stands out as polished and clean.
Can I drop it?
So interestingly enough, you cannot. And it's not that your hand doesn't function. It's that it seems like your hand is adhered to the blade. Well, to the handle.
Is it kind of like throw it into the fire, destroy it? And I'm just like, no.
No, you hold it. You can't open your hand just because it's like it's glued there. And you flex the muscles, and the voice once again says, "Slay evil."
I'm going to say, damn it. And then walk off to find a spellcaster.
All right. You can walk off to find a spellcaster. About this time, the two of you are getting back, Arthanos and Nova, and you see Akash. And what's interesting is Osborne just very subtly looks bluer than you remember.
Did something happen with you? Your
Boy, that's a it's a simple question with a long answer that you were there for most of. So
No, but I mean, since then, because you look a bit different.
Did you fall into some blue dye?
I will look at my hands. No. You gotta admit, it looks better this way, anyways.
Well, I mean, I feel like Osborne's commanding officer might have some questions.
Why I hang around with wiggle my fingers.
I guess we could tell him Arthanos did a spell and it went wrong, and maybe that's why you're a little off.
Yeah, it was definitely Arthanos that turned Osborne. That's his name, right? Blue. That sounds.
Hey, why's it gotta be me?
That sounds like an Arthanos. No, Arthanos, you're not hearing me say that. Yeah, well, it definitely sounds like an Arthanos thing to do,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
as a prank or some sort of retribution,
Look, I
turn a
don't.
member of the party blue. That would be a thing that Arthanos would do, and nobody else in this room.
I played one prank on you during our service projects that we were doing over the summer.
You magically adhered me to the ceiling
I'm just saying, I was trying to.
and then left.
You gotta admit, it was a little funny. I said you were full of hot air, and then you were stuck to the ceiling. Like, I don't know. It was one of those things we did, right?
What was funnier is when I cut myself free and just took part of the ceiling with me, and she had to pay the deposit.
Remembering
Alright,
the wrong parts of what made the story interesting. Regardless, so we tell your commanding officer that a spell went wrong and you're unable to do your normal duties for a while.
Yeah, on account of being blue.
We'll make it sound like there's some other stuff that's
No,
also going
If
on.
I got right, Osborne actually has a fair amount of freedom with you to kind of do whatever he deems necessary for the good of the kingdom, so I feel like we'll probably be okay.
I look at Arthanos like, maybe?
It's possible, I suppose.
Okay. Well, let's run it down. Since I've been watching you guys, Osborne showed up in a city, fought a mechanical dragon, went back, arrested a guy tried to arrest a guy posing as governor, who was actually just a dickhead nobleman, but he did it in front of the council, immediately got promoted, and then you guys, in succession, fucked off to go pick up a gnome, fucked off in a dream, and then fucked off to a lost mine. At no point did he have to check in with his commanding officer other than occasionally dealing with an inordinate amount of paperwork. Did you guys have any idea how much paperwork there is in weapons when you're changing units? Because, he's still in here with me a little bit, and it turns out there's about 20 pounds.
Oh yeah, so I suppose somewhat of an idea.
Yeah.
Just had to deal with 40 pounds of that, but yeah.
My point is that, at least for the interim, I think we're free to kind of do what we need to do. And at the end of the day, Arthanos, you said I have 28 more days before I'm ousted back out of this body and back to whatever afterlife that was.
Maybe, I mean, that's my best guess.
I mean, what's my other option? I take this body away from an innocent, good-hearted man.
Well, it's more so just a matter of whether or not he forces you out. But yes, I'm not suggesting you take his body forever or anything like that.
I just mean that for the interim, it sounds like we're kind of free to do whatever we want as long as we, I don't know, wave a flag around or something.
Right, maybe just don't make too big of a fuss about it.
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
maybe...
that reminds me, I asked them to change your quarters, Nova.
What?
Well, it turns out that he has some rank.
What?
Just saying. Remember that time I was stuck to the ceiling?
Okay, how long until he switches back? Don't make me. I will find a way to put your soul into a squirrel.
I guess the stable hands needed some help, so.
I go check my stuff.
What did she find?
Her stuff.
I did that same thing to my ex once. I was like, oh yeah, while you were in the bathroom, I switched around all your CDs and games and shit into different cases, and she has OCD, so she was so bothered by it. We had to go back to her house, and she had to check everything, and I hadn't done anything at all, of course.
Fuck off. That's awful. Alright. I decided to stay in my room. Also,
You can stay in the room. After a few minutes, I imagine that a slightly distressed little goblin will enter the area.
That no one notices.
I notice.
Yeah, it's weird actually. You do notice, and there's the closer he gets, the less hazy things seem. And it's kind of like a proximity beacon. You know, once you realize what it is and what to look for.
Just stare at him.
Always be found.
What's that?
So I could always be found.
Yeah. Hey, Max.
I'm gonna try to kind of scratch the back of my head, and then realize the sword is about to scratch the back of my head, and use my other hand. Be like, does anyone know anything about cursed weapons?
Is this purely scholarly?
I'm gonna hold out my arm and kind of like flail it.
Oh boy.
Doesn't seem like it.
What do I know about curses, Tony?
Well, you know that most curses are pretty easy to remove. You just need to find someone to who can cast a spell that largely hasn't existed in a long time.
All right.
But it's not impossible to find, and in fact, because of wizards and their overabundance of curiosity, it is something that scholars of your college have mastered.
Okay.
What were you gonna say, Arthanos?
Well, it's we can probably deal with it, though I'd imagine it'd be tomorrow. It's quite late. We might have to go see Wyan again and see if she can help, unless Nova knows the appropriate spell, as I do not. I'll look over at Nova.
Nova's in her room cataloging her stuff to make sure that.
Oh,
Akash
right,
can
okay.
fuck with it.
We have separate rooms. That's right. I
Yeah.
was thinking it was a communal area. So you may want to go check with her just in case, but I suspect we'll have to go see Wyan tomorrow, and you may have to. I hope you don't stab yourself in your sleep.
Hang on. This actually seems kind of familiar. Give me a second. Come here, Nex. And Akash will put his both hands on Nex's head with his thumbs on his forehead, and he'll close his eyes and think for a minute and go, okay, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that seems right. How do you feel? And he will accidentally cast Bestow Curse.
Roll
Oh
it.
no!
What's that?
Roll it.
Oops.
Whew, boy.
You feel like shit for a minute. Disadvantage on all of the things.
Oh jeez.
Including charisma checks to resist slaying evil. You see a mosquito in the room, and you're compelled to kill
You
it.
place your hand on him and cast Bestow Curse, and loudly in your head, Gex, but quietly in Akash's, you hear the voice,
Ah, so the necromancer wishes to supplant the evil? Slay it. Slay. Stab him. Right now. Do it. Stab him. Stab him.
Do I feel compelled to stab him?
No, it's just,
Come on. Stab him. Give him a stab. A little slash. Slash,
You
slash,
said
kabash.
we were gonna slay evil today, but we haven't slayed any evil at all.
Also, maybe a little vomit. Oh, wait. No, hang on. It's the other way. Hang on. Nope, it's positive to negative, negative to positive. Give me a second. Let me try that again.
Yes, cursed you,
this-
you fool. Don't let him do it twice.
And this time I will cast Remove Curse on the sword.
You cast Remove Curse. And the voice says,
Ah, a challenge. You think that your evil can...
and it's quiet.
Can you let go of it now, Nex?
I try to let go of it.
Stuck right there. Perfectly adhered.
Still feeling like shit. I'm just gonna. Oh no, I can't. I can't go to bed. My bed is gone.
I can never sleep again.
Did I feel any sort of severing? Did I end any curse? There's just more than one thing going on.
You
just
felt
super
like
glue.
you dispelled something.
Uh-huh.
It's weird though, because whatever it is, it's not like a traditional curse. And maybe your experience with curses is also pretty new. It's hard to describe. You think there might be another effect going on here, and probably you have to hit it from both sides at the same time if you want to get rid of this thing.
Man, well, I'm out. Looks like you just have a sword hand.
Jay, give me just a minute. Or 11.
You hear several heavy footsteps racing up the stairs, and very quickly kicks into the room, and you see Darrett out of breath. They need you. There's
They
force. There's a. Oh, it looks like there's a group of soldiers. They're moving on the castle. It's just a small group. We could use some scouts.
Inside the wall?
No, they're probably a couple of hours out, but they're moving by night, and they're moving pretty quick. And we could use someone to find out what they are, how many of them are, what they're doing, and more importantly, are there any others behind them? Because this is a small force, smaller than what we'd expect to march on the castle, but they're heading right here, and they don't know what's going on. Whew. It's a lot of stairs.
Oh, alright, I suppose we should have a look then.
Hey,
Gex, go get Nova.
There's 5 horses already for you.
are you coming with us?
No,
So you notice there's one less than 5 of us here.
well, I mean, I guess you're right. Rin probably just uses water lily. Extra
Yeah,
horse,
join-
just don't worry about it.
Wanted to go join the Dragon's Queen's army to see what all the hype was about? Yeah, you'd be absolutely right. It's weird, right?
What?
Yep.
You might not want to tell that to everybody.
Tell him what? That Ren got curious because he saw his childhood girlfriend and wanted to know what all the fuss is about, so he fucked off to join the Dragon Queen's army. Yeah, I mean, I would have seen that one coming too, right, Derek?
You seem different. Are you playing a joke?
Spell gone wrong. And I just point over my shoulder at Nova, giggling.
No, Nova's still in her room. Can't blame this on her. Blame it on Arthenos.
Fuck you!
But what you said about Ren, that
Yeah, that part wasn't a joke. This is actually just me seething right now. Blinding wrath and rage. Can you tell?
he opens his mouth a couple times trying to find something to say, and then
Go ahead and take a minute.
just doesn't and says, "Horses are at the gate. Can you get a count and see what you can learn about them?"
See if there's any additional force in the area. They might just be a distraction.
Yeah. We'll get it taken care of. Nova, we're on. I used thaumaturgy to blow her door open.
Seriously? Come storming out. What? What is so important that you have to... Why do you guys all look so serious?
You know,
I wave my arm that's stuck to the sword.
Oh, fuck. Where'd you come from? Has he always had a sword? I feel like I would have remembered a sword.
Derek
There's riders.
interrupts you to say, I trust you'll handle this soon. And he marches out of the room.
I watch him go, and for a minute go, I'll turn to Arthos, and I probably could have handled that better, huh?
Perhaps just a bit, but I suppose they'd have learned about
It's
Ren
not-
at least not being here soon. So
I thought it was like a bandage, you know, you just rip it off.
yeah, I suppose I can understand where you're coming from. At least he just seemed quite attached to Ren, to be honest.
Yeah, man, it was his idol.
Uh,
You can
well,
tell me I'm wrong, Arthanos.
No, I'm not sure you are. To be
You're
honest, I'm not.
qualifying an awful lot. Like, you're not afraid that the undead friend that's inhabited the body of your other friend's going to do something to, I don't know, like haunt you for the rest of your days, are you?
Well,
I might. And I leave.
hadn't thought of that. But
I-
now I am.
I just look at Arthanos and go, I had to spend a whole summer with him.
Why?
It was a service project for college. It's not important. Let's go. Wait, where are we going?
You just start telling everybody that, like, you were his parole officer?
Well, it was community service, but I try to phrase it so it doesn't sound like I was in trouble.
Listen, I feel like a cautious sense of humor might be lost on some people here.
Is that what we're calling it, sense of humor?
Yeah, you should see what he does to people he doesn't like.
It's true. He's only cursed one of us so far.
It was an accident.
Uh-huh.
But as we're
This is
leaving,
I
positive,
didn't mean to
negative,
hit that
negative,
guy
positive.
with my car.
Yeah, positive to negative, negative to positive. Polarity's a bitch, man.
so seriously, did he always have a sword? I would have remembered that.
Yes, not that sword, but he's always had a sword.
It's kind of been his shtick.
It's almost the size of him.
I don't know. I think I would have remembered him. That. I would have remembered that.
I mean, at this point, I'm not convinced, but if you say so,
So what's happening? What's the emergency?
there's a group of soldiers approaching the town. They want us to check if there's if that's all of them, if there's more, what they're doing. Well, I don't know who they appear to be.
Are we being all stealthy and like just spying on them, or are we like trying to parlay? You know that word, right?
Yes, I know the word. I have an idea. I think we should see what they are first before we go talking to them. Perhaps it's Ren and his friend again. Perhaps they've come to kill us or something. I'd rather not talk to them in that case.
Okay, so we got to do the sneak stuff.
First,
Gotta go,
yes.
like where Akash was headed off, and like I don't know if we should let him lead. I don't feel like he was sneaky in the best of times.
Literally the best sneak of the group until we got a goblin.
Tell him the story, you or me.
Well, I mean, you keep forgetting Gex is here. Perhaps we should get him to do it.
Gex.
There's a moon.
The one that doesn't have a sword.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, yeah, let's... Yeah, he should go first. He seems forgettable.
Jesus.
God damn.
He Yami, I'm so sorry.
Holy shit!
I haven't decided whose bed I'm sleeping in now, but it's most certainly going to be taken
With the
care of.
sword.
Yeah. He's sleeping in one of your beds and he's shitting in all the others.
Why not both?
You can have a multi-episode argument about who's shit in the bed.
As you are departing down the stairs and heading towards the stables to grab these prepared horses, you hear a loud voice, Gex, and a more subtle voice, Akash.
Your powers are no... Way to go. He tried to beat me, didn't he? Just gave me a little bit of a stutter, but I'm back and we will slay evil. Now, I've been watching your party. The necromancer is obviously evil. The sorcerer, I don't believe is evil, just incredibly vain. The pale
talking about
wizard,
ourselves.
not certain. But the owl, look at its eyes, cold, dead, unfeeling, evil! Kill the bird.
The owl.
Oh, yeah, that's
Cat?
right. You have the cat. Yeah, same
Yeah.
thing, but for the cat.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to look at the cat. Does it seem evil?
I mean, right now it's probably like I don't know. My cat does it sometimes. Like when she wants to lick like her front shoulder, she recoils super far back with her head, opens her mouth
Yep.
up all the way, and just straight down. It looks hilarious. Doesn't seem evil, unless you're allergic to cats.
A gamer in real life.
Are you allergic to cats in real life?
No,
Yeah.
it's not. What?
Yeah, I am.
And you're
why
desperate
you
to
have a
get
cat?
a cat?
If I touch a cat and then I touch my eyeball, it's terrible. Otherwise, I'm fine.
You know, it's not actually the hair that you're allergic to; it's their spit. But because cats are such clean animals, they lick themselves all over, and ta-da!
That makes sense because whenever it drooled on me, I would get like agitation.
Anyways, you continue down to the stables, and the horses are ready for you. There's not a general alarm. You don't hear any bells or gongs, but you see that a lot of people seem to have been roused and are preparing themselves for what looks like battle. What do you guys do, if anything?
I am waiting by the horses.
Can I even get on the horse if I can't use an arm?
For
I
you,
will pick this tiny man up and put him on a horse.
yeah. Or you could request your mastiff back.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing that. It's a good boy.
I will
Put little wheels on the
also.
dog.
It is approaching the end of the day, right? Dusk.
Yeah, it's dark.
I will also, like, as everyone kind of walks up, I will one at a time touch everyone on their forehead and give them. There, this is gonna help. I promise.
Oh, no.
I can't really hide it anymore, can I? And 300 feet dark vision.
I forgot. Now I have to worry about that shit again. Gross.
Yep, that's the thing.
And do you touch the cat as well?
Hang on.
He hasn't been a cleric for a while. Okay, give it a second.
I think it's 5 people.
With willing creatures, you
Research.
can within 10 feet of you up to a number of creatures equal to your wisdom modifier, which is now +5. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I mean, the cat gets 300-foot dark vision, and fuck it, man, the mastiff. Because why not?
All right. You share your enhanced senses. Everyone mounts up, and you head out through the city of Calaman, down through the castle, into the city, and out the gate. What is your plan of attack?
I mean, initially, I'm going to send the cat up. I'm going to look through its senses,
All right. Now,
see what I can see.
it's a dark evening, but cats are very good at seeing in poor light. It is able to make out that there is a force of probably 60 or 70 individuals
That's-
on the
That's
horizon.
with the enhanced dark vision, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So the 300-foot dark vision doesn't help you because they're not 300 foot away, right?
Yeah, all right, good point. Well, they might have been. I don't know. I don't know how far they are, right? So, Worth checking. You say it looks like 60 or 70 people.
It's yes,
I
and
just make that up.
you know, you're probably looking through its senses and trying to get an estimate here. It's a clear night. There's a bright moon, but it's a small group. You can't really count shoulders or heads. You're just kind of guessing by the relative size of the blob versus the relative size of the trees that are nearby.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'll come back down. I'll share that. How far away did they seem to be?
Probably coming up about a mile.
A mile. Not that far. Mile's like 3 kilometers, right? Yeah, so not that far.
Yeah,
Mile is 1 freedom unit. You get out of here with that communist bullshit.
That was a caution, not like.
It's socialist bullshit.
I prefer to measure all my measurements based on dead king's toes. Thank you. Actually, I like the metric system.
That sounds like the name of a fungus.
It makes way
Man's
more
toes.
sense.
Metric is the better measurement, as long as we
No, it really
agree that Celsius is useless to a normal human being.
Well, so I will agree that Fahrenheit is the relative temperature to what it feels like to be a person. Celsius is what it feels like to be water.
That's exactly how I was.
Counterpoint, you are at least 80% water.
Sure, it's just what it feels like.
Counterpoint, fuck you.
I've been waiting for you to say that all my life.
But metric is the better measurement.
Yes.
Put it out there.
What are you guys doing?
That seems like probably more than we can handle. Is there time? Let me ask you this: would there be time for us to circle back and get some of like Darrett's unit, some of the defenders, out forward into an ambush position? Does that make sense?
It looks like, in fact, they're rallying forces here to actually march outside the gate, and looks like they're arranging a much larger force than, magnitudes larger than what's approaching the city.
I understand that, but is there time to circle back? Yeah, but there's still going to, right, like in a direct toe-to-toe, there's still going to be people hurt, and these people may just get within sight and then leave. Would there be time for us to before they get into sight of the castle, or the city, could we circle back, let them know what's going on, and potentially get people out into like an ambush position? Does that make sense?
So I understand what you're saying. I'm the logistics I haven't got down yet. How do you want to get them in an ambush position?
Well, I'm just wondering, is there time to make those 2 trips before they got within sight of the city?
So they're about a mile or so out, which I think is going to take 20 to 25. How long to walk a mile? So it's going to take between 15 and 22 minutes, give or take. You know that if they're carrying gear and they've been marching all day, probably a little longer.
Sure.
Right.
Call it 30.
Yeah. It's going to take about 20 to 30 minutes for them to reach the gates. Now, a force like this, are they going to attack the gates? If they keep on this path, it looks like they will.
That's the other thing. It can't. Well, I guess it's Arthanos' cat that sees them, right? Like, but my question would be: does this look like an emissary, or does this look like a skirmish? Right? Is this all line troops or pikemen, or is there like the equivalent of nobles? Or does that make sense?
Yeah, you haven't seen them. Arthanos, make a perception check using your cat senses.
Using the cat.
That was our Catahoula.
With a 13, the blob seems to have irregularities that you probably would say are spears, maybe shields. It's just too undefined of an image for you to make out exactly what it is. But the first person to identify them that reported it to Darrett and command seems to think that they were soldiers of some kind. This kind of checks out with that. But I guess the relevant information would be that to the command, and Darrett probably would have said this, they're not expecting any of their forces to come back today.
Sure. Well, that's why I think Blake was trying to figure out, like, does this look like an emissary from the Dragon Queen's army, right? The usual, like, bow or die.
The last time they sent an emissary, there was a dragon that came first.
Fair point.
It's hard to say what they might do today.
Sure.
Maybe some people are getting or defecting because they don't want to get transformed into fucking draconians. Who knows?
Well, what do you guys want to do here? I have a couple of ideas, but I'm not the only one here.
I mean, the ambush thing sounds like a good idea, but I don't know, is 30 minutes enough to set that up?
Right. The other option is we could circle, like, swing wide and hunker down and let them pass us, and come in behind them and wait until they engage, and then wreak merry havoc on their back.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds like a good idea. Me,
You know.
get a closer look at them too, because as they get closer, then we'll have a better idea of what they are.
Right.
What's Gex want to do?
How bright does this sword shine?
It's unusually shiny, like Quicksilver, but it doesn't glow.
Okay, so I can still stealth then.
Hmm.
Without just being a beacon of, like, hey, over here.
You might want to wrap it in something, just because it does catch light that easily, but it doesn't emit any light.
I'm going to say, I think we should just sneak over there. And then
You
I
think
said,
what?
and if they are evil, and I wait for it,
Yes. Slay them.
I'm sure there's a downside to this sword, but I haven't found it yet. Other than it
Stand
thinks
by
the
for
cleric
it.
is a necromancer.
He's not wrong, though.
Yeah, this kind of checks out.
Why are you booing him? He's right.
What's the definition of a necromancer then?
Clerics bring people back from the dead. I don't know what you want to argue here.
He hasn't done it yet, though.
don't worry,
It
I'll
sure looks like you forced your undead spirit into another man's body. That sounds like a
Listen.
necromancer.
I was aware of it right away, but nobody else made that connection first, Tony. Thanks.
Sorry,
What? I just said back from the dead. What? All right.
bud. Sorry, other bud.
So, anyways, well, it's almost like somebody that used to be a part of this party was talking.
All right.
I'm
kidding, So it Austin. is.
I'm kidding, Austin. I love you. Please don't leave me.
You will feel the full wrath of my shaft later.
Your shit.
Giggity.
I promise him with a good time.
Spear. My new character uses a spear. It's fine.
Very phallic.
Tony, please rein us in.
I'm just waiting for somebody to tell me where this bus is going.
I don't know. I can't make decisions, Tony. I'm not here. Please.
Nova, would you like to make a decision?
Yeah, I suggested we send the little thing with the sword and have him go investigate while we sit here safely, maybe have some tea. I don't know. Find out what happens.
All right, so
I
we
guess
build a
it's delegation.
we build a catapult, right? And then we put necks in it. We hide.
There are catapults on top of Castle Calaman.
Yeah,
True.
we aim one loosely in the direction of these people and fling necks at them, hoping for the best. No. Immediately after pulling the lever, hey, wasn't there something about a parachute?
what are we doing up here?
What are we doing right now?
We're hiding. We're hiding and waiting for these people to pass.
Are you?
We would like to get a better look at them.
Where
and we
are
would like to
you
put them behind.
going to hide? Are you going to head out on the
Right.
road a bit and then kind of get off road and wait for them to get closer?
Yeah, just over there. Yonder.
Yeah, in the trees.
Is there like a slight hill above the road? At any
Is there a
point?
small,
It's-
a small abandoned town? A
The
farmhouse.
road, the road that they're traveling is largely pretty leveled out, but there are some rough slopes on some of these sides here that do go into farmland. You probably can find, maybe not an abandoned house. This close to the capital, the farmsteads are very important to protect and keep running as long as they can. But you might be able to find, I know the word, stables or some supplementary housing that doesn't have anyone in it, or you could just
stables would be great.
kick some family out and quarter
Put them in
yourselves
the
there
road.
for a bit.
Fucking worthless peasants. Yeah, wherever we hide, I'm gonna keep the cat in the air and
All right.
try to get a better look at him.
So you head out, I'm assuming at least a quarter of a mile or so. Position yourselves into a stable that is untended currently. You see there's a very slow, not overly dramatic evacuation from some of these farmsteads. So you pass a lot of people that are bringing their families through the early hours of the night back towards the castle. It seems like something that they've probably had some advance warning on. Because there's not a general panic. Instead, they move pretty calmly and quickly, passing you on the way. When you post up in the stables, your cat begins to see more vividly. These folks don't quite look like the Dragon Army. They're not wearing Calaman's regular colors. They don't have any obvious signs of like the mercenaries that you saw at the mining camp. As they get closer and closer into view, you again note they don't have the black armor with the red trim that you often saw the Dragon Army wearing, but it does start to look familiar. And you see what looks like members of the Ironclad Regiment.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, I'll
mercenaries.
bring the cat down then and just say, oh, it's that mercenary group we're dealing with in Vogler. The Ironclad.
They
Those
look like
ones.
they were coming to report or coming for war.
Did they look like they were, in an attacking of an attacking mind, Tony? I'm
They're
guessing not.
just
They're
kind of
walking down
slumping
the road.
along. I mean, how close do you want your cat to get?
I mean,
The real question
fly
is,
overhead.
do you want them to get within arrow range?
Let's say within 300 feet or so.
Sounds like arrow range to me. Your cat gets within
long
300 feet.
Yeah, flying overhead.
And very quickly, they point out to it as they notice it flying through the otherwise clear sky. It looks a little irregular. But there's not a big commotion to it. There's not a panic. Nobody draws weapons on it. You just see a couple of people pointing out to it. You hear a couple of bird calls come from the group. Your cat gets upset, decidedly ignores those. But as it flies over, it can see, honestly, familiar faces. You recognize at the front of the group a dwarven woman named Cudgel that you had seen at the defense of Vogler, and she is limping pretty heavily, leaning on what looks like a maul tip that has been broken, as she just uses the handle as a walking aid at this point. But the whole force here looks rough. Many injured. You start to see that there are stretchers, those that are being supported by on shoulder to shoulder, more than a few being carried. It looks like a force coming back from a losing battle.
Yeah, so, I don't think they're preparing to fight. It's more like they've just been in a fight. And it definitely looks like them. Do I believe this is an illusion of any type?
Not that you're familiar with.
Okay.
If it is, it's a good one.
Okay. Yeah. I think perhaps they're looking for shelter or something like that. That's what it looks like.
I'm not sure the hiding's necessary, to be honest.
He said it was What was? God damn it! You just said cudgel, right?
Right.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, man. I think you're probably right. We should go greet them. Looks like they're. You said they're in pretty rough shape.
Aye, Cudgel's limping.
Well, I'm with you. I don't think we need to hide.
Nova's fallen asleep, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a stable, so maybe not.
So I will start kind of getting ready to head out to the road and get in front of them.
Cat'll come back down to me.
Gex,
Okay.
your sword will say,
Maybe you can convince one of them to take advantage of one of the hurt ones, steal from them, and then you can slay the thief. It's just
I'm
thought.
just gonna be like, what?
Did I hear that at all?
yeah.
I'll just stop and slowly turn and look at Nex and go, huh. Yeah, we really get rid of that thing.
Arthenos, does he normally just stare at his sword like that?
It's talking.
The sword's talking? Because
Yes.
we know the Nex can talk.
So I'm proud of you for remembering his name.
His name is
saying
Gex,
it
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yes. I didn't want to say anything.
Oh no, Nova's sorry.
Yeah.
Not gonna get it right for a long time. I apologize. Maybe by level 10?
But it was closer. Yeah, that's how we knew about the whole cursed sword thing.
The sword's cursed?
Right. And I just keep walking.
As you
How is
make your
that
way
hard?
out onto the road, the mercenary force is a couple minutes away now. Don't make any attempt to veer from you. But you do see a few of the forces, a few of their members, try to pick up a little bit of speed. At this point, you can see Cudgel gets into using her weapon as a crutch. She gets into a very quick, swinging motion as she tries to get herself out ahead of the group. And she brings a couple of figures with her. As she catches up a little bit ahead of the army, there is a moment where she recognizes some of you, Arthenos, Nova. Yes, just Arthenos and Nova. And she says, "Oh, it's a good thing to see ya. Didn't think Caliban was so kind to send us out some friendly faces."
What happened to you? Not that you guys don't look great, because you do. You look great. But also, what happened? Because you look awful.
Whew, that's a whole story. And she leans a bit more casually, having caught up. You could tell this has winded her a bit. And she leans against her weapon. She has two figures with her. One is a human man who likewise looks like he's bandaged heavily on one side, but still seems in good fighting shape. The other is a hobgoblin woman, which, Austin, you can describe your character now, please.
So she looks like Ren, but she has hair covering the left side of her face, and all of her features are slightly softer. But the resemblance is immediate and uncanny.
Skadoosh.
That's all. I had a thing. I drew this, right? Did I draw this, Tony?
I feel like you did.
I did.
That or it was
Here's
the
a
AI.
thing. It's like an hour. Ugh. Yeah. She looks tired, and her hands are completely covered in bandages.
I'm going to lean back to Arthenos and very quietly say, Ren was a male, right?
He was a boy hobgoblin? With your passive perception of 20 and Nova's inability to be discreet, Kestrel, you hear your brother's name mentioned multiple times in quick succession.
Just like eyes. Eye contact. One of them's facing me, right? One of them has to be facing me. If they're not, then two of them have one eye in my direction. Eyes. Contact? No deviation.
Now she's looking at me.
It's a bit of a long story. I'm glad you asked. So, at the defense, we did our best to have a fighting retreat, sort of hold the lines, give you time to retreat. And sure enough, we were doing pretty well. Just sort of taking them on a few at a time and following thicker back into the forest. And then we got caught in a little copse of trees, and that little copse of trees turned into a fiery hellhole, because they have something in the sky that looks a lot like dragons, but is not dragons, I'm told. You could think, she points to somebody in the crowd, that asshole apparently knows a lot about dragons. Not dragons, but dragon-like. And things got very bad at that point. So the forest was sort of disbanded into a full retreat rather than a fighting one, and it took the better part of probably 2 or 3 days for us to meet up with most of our survivors. And then we had to flay most of their army while they harried us all the way to the border. And then, at the border, it took the better part of another couple of days just to find a good crossing to get back into the Empire. And then we've been harried half the way here.
Wow. That's a lot.
She gives a very solemn nod, and she looks like she's reaching for a pipe, and when she pulls it out, it's snapped in half. She swears a little bit, puts it back into her pocket, and says, "Aye, it's a lot. And we're fewer. But we're here."
Wait. Osborne Akash will Akashaborn? Oshkosh? Oshkosh Bagosh?
Damn it.
We got there. He will pat around his pouch and pull a pipe out and hand it to her. There, try that one.
Ah, thank you, lad. Now you remind me of someone.
Yeah.
No smoking
get that a
until
lot.
your lungs heal.
I'm sorry, who are you? Which one of us works
I'm
for the
your
other?
doctor.
Right, but you're not my doctor.
I just take the pipe from her.
You son of a... She flails about, but she doesn't have good balance on the cane.
Can I have my pipe back though?
Are you going to give it to her again?
No.
I dump the pipe out onto the ground. And then I hand it back to you.
I immediately hand it back to Cudgel.
Cudgel just puts her hands up defensively, and she's... I've actually lost this battle 3 times today, so it's fine. It'll be elsewhere soon.
I'll repack the pipe and start smoking myself. So that was fun. Hi. Welcome. You look a lot like someone I knew.
Oh, Ren?
Yeah.
You've only said his name 3 times, but Bim. I wave over to the other people.
Yeah, in my defense, I didn't say it because I have some tact.
So, where is he? Is he in the castle?
He is not. But you're getting, actually not closer. Closer would be the wrong word. You're getting the opposite of closer.
We don't need to discuss all of this right out in the open. Let's maybe help these people into town.
That's what you're ready to get moving.
You know what? Seems like this has gotten awkward all of a sudden. So you know what? I'm just going to leave you in the capable care of my very fine doctor, who I am both the employer and patient of. And
Victim.
she raises her eyebrows and I'm like, yeah, that's a good way of explaining it. And says, So you take care of that, and we're gonna go that way. I assume they're not gonna, loose the arrows on us, right?
I mean, maybe put a flag up. Just a thought. Can I see that leg really quick, Cudgel? And I will cast Cure Wounds if she lets me touch it.
You go down to cast Cure Wounds.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, it's well taken care of. There is some healing that can't be done through traditional means that your wound takes care of, that your healing magic takes care of. And you can almost hear the sound of muscles kind of snapping into place like rubber bands.
I'm
And-
sorry, what in the four fucking fiery hells is that?
Magic trick.
Oh, it's good, lass. That's what it is.
It's
I
Oh,
cast.
it's real?
I cast morphine. That's all that happened.
are you a wizard, dear?
Yes.
Oh, that's absolutely delightful.
I don't trust it.
That should be a little better.
Magic doesn't do that. It makes ointments and
I will-
potions.
Yeah, I'll stand up and
Sounds-
go, and yet, and do jazz fingers.
She starts squatting a couple times, like testing it out.
I'd like to request leave.
I'd like to request firing you.
I hand her my insignia. I just drop it into her hand.
What's that?
Done. No 2 weeks, I assume.
Oh, yeah, no,
You.
you're great, especially if we can have this one. What's your name, boyo?
Well, that's a long story.
I don't. Listen, you don't have to tell me your name as long as I can call you mine. How do you feel about serving in the Ironclad?
Benefits are shit.
Also a long story.
I'll pay you 3 times what she makes, mate.
Let's.
I saved your leg. Twice.
Yeah, but you did a real shite job with the pain.
Let's say for now you can.
Do you
call
care
me-
about the pain or do you care about the leg?
I feel like I can care about more than one
And
thing
we're
at a
walking.
time. Okay,
And
bye
we're-
now.
For now, you can call me, and I'll look at Arthanos and Nova and kind of shrug and go, Osborne? Question mark?
Hi, Osborne, that's right.
Yep.
You
That's
seem
it.
really confused about something you presumably had for 20 or more years.
Well, there's more to the story, but. Anyways, so about Ren. So you know the whole Dragon Queen's army thing,
I'm familiar.
and I assume you know about Lucen. Lucena? Lucerne? Nope, that's a hammer.
It's been a while, but yes.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Did they finally get married?
Uh,
He didn't fucking tell me, the bastard.
let me put.
I'll tell you, I used to do this thing when we were kids where I'd stick him upside down in a pig trough.
Yeah.
I think it's time to revisit nostalgia.
Her.
Yeah. So let me put a hypothetical situation in front of you, and let me. Why don't we play a game where you guess how your brother would react? Let's say Ren was on an adventure, trying to thwart the Dragon Queen's army.
Hold on, that's already ridiculous.
Yeah, and yet here we are. It's hypothetical, remember? Now let's say he runs into Lucena, who is with the Dragon Queen's army.
And he starts crying. Yes.
Yep, I mean, you got that part right. And then let's say Lucena tells him, trust me,
To
it's
stop
not-
being such a baby.
and trust me, it's not what you think. You should come see for yourself. And then Ren would go,
He wouldn't say anything. He would just follow her like a dog.
and thus we come to the missing Ren.
So he defected.
Yeah, you got it.
And you were there for this?
I'll conjure a picture.
And you didn't stop him.
We each, well, I was indisposed.
I punch Osborne in the face.
Really like her.
Make an attack
I was,
roll.
I was, I was
Can
very.
this be a sneak attack?
Make a
Insight
sleight of
check?
hand versus his
I'll make a sleight of
insight.
hand.
Ooh, shit. Passive
Let's
insight.
see. I'm gonna add some to that. Do I have allies? Crudgel is still
Nova's on your
walking
side.
away.
Uh-oh.
You did just get fired. I'm just
Why
saying.
can't why can't
I resigned.
roll- hang on. I can't roll. Do I not have control over this character sheet?
Which sheet are you using?
That's amazing.
You're not using the one at the bottom of the page, are you?
Hang on.
It shouldn't matter what name you pick. I don't.
No, I know, but no, I was grabbing the. I just grabbed the. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on, let me open it back up.
I mean, you have the roll. It's fine, right?
No,
Well, that's my roll.
That's him rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not letting me
Oh.
roll for it.
And
That's
you're
This one is
on.
just better
Are you
at-
just in the sheet? Like,
Hang on.
or are you trying to use one of the tokens?
No, I'm in the sheet.
Just try refreshing. In the
Huh.
meantime, do you just want to roll a d20?
Yeah. Sorry, just a trip. I mean, I can't roll a d20 while it's refreshing either, so here we are now. Okay, one more try. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
We did it.
That's the opposite of doing it. I mean, I feel like the magic is gone now.
Ooh, it's a really good roll, though.
It's a good roll. It's not going to be snack attack, but I do think a 19 beats his AC.
It's 20.
Wow. Okay.
A 19 isn't what I rolled. I rolled a 22.
So in a very convincing manner, you're able to just realize that she's about to deck you. And you go from like about to take a haymaker to just getting caught on like the corner of your chin.
Yeah.
So,
It's not my body, man.
right. It's
I'll lean into it. That's fine.
in fact, I'm going to get a lot of drugs today. What am I going to do? Die? You catch it on like the corner of your chin, but you narrowly avoid a full-on haymaker that might have rocked you a little bit. But ow!
Yeah. So I'll take it you were the stronger of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next in line. Were you there? I would just point at the next person behind him.
She encouraged him. I'm gonna point at Nova.
It was her idea.
She said something about.
Osborne so much.
She said something about exploring your options and making sure you really understood what was happening.
Mm-hmm. So what the fuck is wrong with you all? You didn't, I don't
Well,
know,
so
tie
we
him up
actually
or something?
did. We went into we got our asses kicked pretty hard because Lucen is a shockingly strong necromancer.
She's
And-
a wizard. Just kick her ass.
And we tried, and he was fighting to protect her, and he's actually surprisingly good at it.
What? No, he's not. I
Yeah.
taught him how to fight. I know he's not.
He really is though.
Okay, it's been a couple of years. I'll just take that at your word. So the 4... Oh, sorry. Is he count? I point to Gex.
Yeah.
Can
Whoa!
he wield that
I was
sword
I was
normally?
fighting a zombie. What are you talking about?
Yeah, she had zombies. It was a whole thing.
Okay, tell you what. I'll buy you all a drink. You tell me the whole story in detail. And then we can bare knuckle in the corner of the bar until we get kicked out.
I like her. Yeah, let's go.
Let's
Second
get some,
round's on me.
let's get some warm food in our belly and chat somewhere less.
You want to eat before you fight?
No,
Terrible
no,
idea.
no. Nope, I looked at Arthanos for help.
Perhaps we skip the fighting altogether. You know, it's not as if we're Rain's parents, but you know, if the two of you want to go boxing, go have at it.
Sounds like
Oh,
something
that I
a
would
wizard
watch.
would say.
None of you feel any social obligation to your comrades and allies to stop them from making horrible decisions in the middle of war.
We tried.
Well, I'm not asking you. I'm asking him.
We did try to convince him otherwise, but
Well, try better next time.
I understand you're upset. But why weren't you there then?
Because I was fighting an army.
Right, and we were dealing with our issues. I'm just saying,
Uh-huh.
you've got quite the opinion for someone that wasn't there.
Okay, great. Your opinion doesn't matter to me anymore.
Mostly because it's different.
Mostly because it's wrong. My name is Kestrel. My friends call me Trell. You will not, and I point at Arthanos. Osborne, was it? And Nova. Confirmation. Okay, ignore me, that's fine.
No,
Let's
I'm
go.
more afraid. Okay. I stay just behind Arthanos, keeping him between me and her as we walk.
What are you
Do you
doing?
just-
She hates me more than you.
You just
Like,
keep
stay
that
over my
sword out all the time?
That's what do you know about evil?
I fought a lot of it in the last couple of days.
I look at the sword and go, "All right, shut up.
Ultimate leader.
There's some to slay eventually."
It sounds like maybe she's better than you are at slaying evil.
Yep, that's definitely true.
Yeah, probably.
Quickly, find evil to slay, and fail, and die, and relinquish me to her.
You know, that's a good idea. I'm gonna try to hand her the sword. See if she can take it from my hand.
I'm sorry, you want me to hold this? You're putting it into my
Yes,
hand, so I'm
yeah.
assuming you want me to hold this.
It's sort of a friendship
Yeah.
where he's from.
Uh-huh.
Do you let him place it into your hand?
Sure.
Gex, tell me how you're placing it into her hand.
Blade first.
I'm gonna hold it straight up and just kind of like a passing of the torch. Although I never let go because I can't.
Right, so your hands are small. It's a short sword, and it's size. It's a little big for you, but usable. But there's a lot of handle left over. Like, do you grab the remaining portion of the handle, Kestrel?
Sure. I assume he just needs a free hand to do something. So I'll hold his sword for him.
Okay. You wrap your hand around the remaining half of the sword, and it doesn't open. It's like you're glued to it.
Jesus Christ.
What in the fuck are you doing?
Well, that didn't work.
I just pull him up.
I turn around and see this and go, "Oh, don't touch the cursed sword. Damn it, it's too late."
Okay, I have a better idea. I pick up Gex with my other hand and tuck him under it, so I have one hand with the sword and one hand holding him.
You put Gex under your armpit, so it's like it's sort of on sword arm.
It's like you're holding a cat. It's just like you're walking forward and his ass is going first.
Is this fine for you? I don't want to do this without your consent.
I mean, it's a little late for that, isn't it?
Why don't you shut up before you didn't warn me about a cursed sword?
I just tried.
After everything happened?
Yeah.
Brilliant use of your time.
Yeah, you're right. It was my responsibility to keep you from grabbing a cursed sword. And like it was my responsibility to make sure your brother made good choices.
It was your responsibility to do anything about it. And you didn't, and that's fine. We all make mistakes.
Well, it's gonna be fun.
I'm gonna
Especially
lean
because I'm sticking around.
I mean,
Wait, what?
clearly now.
Well, you can heal people with magic, which isn't a thing that I was aware of existed. So I gotta learn about that. You, and I point to Arthanos, let my brother defect. And you have wonderful makeup, and I kind of want to learn. And I guess I'm stuck with the other one.
Literally.
You know, it'd
Literally.
be nice to have another girl in this group. I vote her in.
Oh, that's not what I am.
Oh, how the turntables.
What?
Just lean over my shoulder and say, "Now she's worse than my sister."
Yes, I'm a woman.
Okay.
One of the guards passing by just says, "Cat fight!"
Am I going ass first, by the way?
No, you can have your head pointed whichever direction we're going.
All right.
And, I start feeling stuff, Tony. Does this feel like it's magic, or does it just feel like there's something really sticky on the sword that I might be able to dissolve with like an acid?
It feels like you're adhered. Yeah, like a glue.
Okay, I have something for this. I have, I think because I had an extra feat, I now have alchemy, herbs, and, well, that's it. Alchemy and herbs. Well, I'll deal with this later. But I start thinking about how to fix this.
Yeah, I mean, acid might work.
All right.
As we're walking, so I was thinking about this. What if we both try? I've seen you knock a little bit of magic loose.
I mean, you should have come to me first as soon as you knew about this.
You were in the other
but
room pouting.
within calling distance. But that's fine. If your magic didn't fully work, we can see what I can do.
Yes. Yep, that's it, Nova. I need your help.
Was that so hard to say? It's fine. All right, let's go. And I flounce over.
A lot of flouncing today.
Very flouncy today. Can I try Dispel Magic?
At the same time as I cast Remove Curse.
Look at them.
Look at them. And now you can hear a voice as well, Kestrel.
Look at how quickly the necromancer circumvents the regular hierarchy of the group and gets his mistress to help him.
And we
with-
cast.
And there is just a blatant cutoff of sound.
Oh, by the way, it talks.
Are their hands free?
You guys try to wiggle free and stuck.
So Dispel Magic didn't work, huh?
Doesn't seem to have had any additional effect than what you've done before.
Mother.
So, what did you just try and do, and why does the sword talk?
First question, or last question first. See Cursed Sword.
I
First
mean-
question last. We were trying to break the curse.
I think the sword's just sticky. I don't think this is a magic adhesive. Can you just grab the satchel on my back for me? There should be a little vial
The
in one of the
sword
tube
is
slots.
sticky?
Yeah. Like you've ever touched tree sap?
Huh. Well, alright. There's no downside for me here. I will dig around in her satchel for a vial.
Nope, not that one. One to the left.
There's a lot of stuff in here. Vials filled with various colored chemicals, bandages, what looks like medical accoutrements. As
There's
you're,
a severed finger in a jar.
I was gonna say a severed finger just wrapped in a bandage. Like, oh, by the way, can get that on ice. You know,
That
like-
was the draconian that I killed. First one.
But you kind of fish around until finally she identifies one that you're comfortable, or she's comfortable with having you handle.
Great. Pour that on our hands, please.
Done.
I believe it's what, 1d4 acid damage?
What?
I
Not
was gonna
like
say, when does the screaming
not
start?
acid like a vial of acid. Like acid like vinegar.
Oh, like vinegar.
Like yeah, an acid that is meant
Yeah.
to dissolve adhesives.
Yeah.
Well, actually, would literal acid work?
I don't know.
I mean, it would just
Give me
hurt like
one
You want me to-
second,
solvent, not a-
actually.
Acid thing, but I don't know if acids are
Let me-
also solvents in this case.
We make some kind of check, Tony. What do you want?
Make a alchemy or an alchemy check.
Oh, I never added the tool to my thing. It's +7, which is the same as this. A 15.
So there's kind of a running joke about sovereign glue
Yeah.
and how notoriously funny comedic outcomes of how it was misapplied, like at a brothel or something like that. And you know that usually it requires in the stories some specially made chemical to undo it.
I don't suppose I have any of that.
No. You might be able to do the same thing with good use of a knife or with
But if we dissolve the outer
liberal
layer of the
application of
skin,
acid. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it might come at a price.
Okay, so here's the plan. You, and I point to my good friend Osborne, can use magical healing, right?
Damn.
Great. So if this is sovereign glue, then it's only stuck to the outer layer of our skin. So what we can do is dissolve the outer layer, rip our hands off, and then you can heal it, right?
Sure.
Are you going to heal it?
Yeah, you know what? It's been a slow night. Sure.
Great. Thank you. And I really mean that. Thank you.
Before
really
you do
don't
that,
know.
just give me a moment.
Mm.
And then I'm going to not ritual cast Identify, so it doesn't take 11 minutes.
Don't you have to touch it to cast Identify?
True.
Yes, I'm going to touch the blade.
You think they're not going to
Here
put
we
glue
go.
on the blade? You're crazy.
I
What
mean,
would do.
if that stabbed somebody, it came out too. I'm just saying.
Sorry, say again.
If that stabbed somebody, it came out as well. I'm just saying. So I'm going
Has
to
it
touch the
ever
blade
stabbed
and cast Identify.
All right. You touch the blade and cast Identify. You ever play Skyrim?
Yes.
Another hand touches the sword. Welcome, brother. We will make a mighty force to slay evil.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It
And
doesn't get me better than that.
I can't pull my hand away, I'm guessing?
Would you try?
Yep.
Nope.
I'm
What do I
so
learn about
glad
it?
you decided to do this.
So you learn this is a +2 short sword, and it is sentient, and it seems to have some powerful entity inside of it. It looks like, give me a second. I wasn't actually planning on doing this tonight, but let's go ahead and knock it out real quick. Do you guys need to take a minute for the dogs?
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead and take a minute for the dogs.
Okay. We'll be back in a bit.
Give us like 5 to 10.
Sure.
Okay.
I like how somehow my punishment has now punished the entire party.
Well, something I learned in the Marine Corps is that you don't ever really want to be the person punishing someone. You want their friends to punish them for you.
Yeah, it could work.
That's a way to, just make everybody hate you, yeah? Or
Shakes
hate
up
that
quick.
person, I suppose.
At least they'll remember now.
Yeah. Let's see here. I need the DMG.
I will be right back.
Oh, I can eat an ice cream. Burp.
Go to the artifact page real quick.
Yeah.
Roll in some of them tables.
I want you, not you.
I have a modified one. Like a modified artifact table. If you're interested.
How highly do you endorse it?
I made it myself, so I don't know. It's a lot of the same things as the regular one, just reorganized and less bullshit.
Sure, send it over.
It's in a Google Doc. I gotta go find. Hold on. Send you a screenshot. That's probably way better than whatever I was about to do. You know what? No, I'm just gonna send you the whole fucking sheet. That's way easier for me.
Raggy.
Here you go, Tony. On the sidebar on the left, if you go to the artifact tag, it takes you right there.
Sidebar to the left.
Yeah.
Don't see a sidebar.
The outline? There should be a little show document outline on the left side of Google Docs.
I don't see it. Might not be set up in the same way yours is.
No, I don't know that.
I can just scroll. I'm sure I'll find it.
Yeah, it's towards the bottom.
Call dragons. Flask of ambrosia, returning club, Irizumi. Atomic compounds, potions. Artifact. Control F that shit.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Yanni. Sup.
So, Sam is dealing with dogs and making herself some food, but
You know, I thought you'd have the sidebar, so this would be a lot faster.
Well, I got it.
what's that?
Okay.
I just waiting on Yami to get here and roll. It's his curse.
Oh, I'm here.
I need you to roll 4 D100s.
4?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Fuck off.
And
Did
as
not
you,
let us-
what's up? And as you roll each one, roll a. Let me know what they are.
Oh, I did them all at once.
Okay.
So first is 39.
Good news is, Kevin will find out that you, while attuned to the artifact, you cannot be charmed or frightened.
Nice. Next one?
Well, you tell me.
What do you mean?
What's
Next
the
number.
next number?
Oh, no. I thought you. I was asking if you're ready for the next
I'm
one.
ready for the next one.
14.
Roll a d6.
6.
That's charisma. What's the bottommost
Yep.
score? Your charisma
Charisma.
increases by 2.
Sweet.
What's the
Good,
next
I'm
one?
good. 88.
Roll 3d10.
9, 1, and 6.
Okay, we'll get to that one later. And one more d100.
79.
That one's
Yeah, it is. Whew. It's the DMG.
You know, actually,
Hold on.
that's kind of that kind of reflects how Nightblood works. It kills you eventually.
All right, I'm back. So Yami's rolling for a doom, I'm guessing.
All right, so you know this, Kevin. It doesn't seem like Gex is attuned yet to the weapon.
Okay.
But when he does, he will be immune to Charm and Frightened. His charisma will increase by 2. He will age significantly. And
Okay.
he will suffer vulnerability to all damage.
It's just like real life. Perfect.
Oh,
Like, holy shit, it actually is.
yeah, like Jesus Christ.
It
Like, I'm
appears
immune.
there's at least some hidden properties to this weapon as well. And interestingly enough, you know that it can share attunements between multiple people.
Oh no.
Oh Christ.
Hey, let me ask the sword something. Can we mentally communicate with it? Or do we have to physically speak?
Do you want to try?
Yeah, I'll try and mentally communicate with it.
What do you say?
Sword, do you understand what I'm thinking?
I understand that you've slayed much evil. I like that about you.
Oh, thank you. Do you have a name?
I do. It is lost to me. I've been alone a long time. But if you slay evil, my faculties and power will return.
It'd be a lot easier to slay evil if someone could swing you better. Are you covered in something that makes us stick to you? Or is that some part of the... that make a gesture that I'm sure it can't see?
There is an effect of sorts.
Well, if you want to slay evil, it's going to be a lot harder when your blade is stuck to a wizard.
But I've been thinking about it. You see, the little one can wield himself with a smaller, inferior weapon, like a dagger. And you can use me. And it seems like you're gifted in healing, so you can heal the other two, while the wizard casts spells, turning me into the perfect vessel of evil destruction.
If all of us had our hands free.
You only need one hand.
Well, yes, but his is on the other end. I can't swing him, can I?
Alright, just focus on keeping him alive, and the goblin.
I could do that better if I had my hand free.
Okay, we're back.
Arguing with the sword.
Yeah.
I see your point, but I still think this is a net win for me.
No, well, the thing is, if you let Gex put you in people, sheath you in corpses, evil, then I can keep him alive, and the wizard can, I don't know, do wizard things.
What if we just sharpen the wizard and leave him on the end of it?
Can you hear us right? I turn fully around and face Osborne. Can you hear us right now?
Yeah, he's in my head too.
But you're not.
I wiggle my fingers.
It's a long story.
So did you?
Yeah, so
Okay.
cat's out of the bag. I'm not
Ignore
actually,
the necromancer.
Yeah, that's why you keep saying that. I'm not actually Osborne. This body is Osborne.
Are we just?
No,
going
just her. She has a very trustworthy face, and I kind of like being bossed around.
It's because I look like Rin, but I'm a badass. Anyways, it's about confidence. And, I'm feeling much more confident holding this sword for some reason. A little intoxicating.
Anyway.
So you're not covered in a fluid. This is you that's keeping us attached here. Just to be clear. Sword.
Maybe.
Okay. Well,
She started talking
as
about.
long as we're all touched, I say none of us slay any evil. Until you let us go. Deal? I look at everyone else.
I agree. You can try to sharpen me, but I'm pretty sure my my ears are as sharp as they're getting. It's not going to be very effective. So I'm all along with this. Gex, you agree, right?
I'm as long as you carry me.
I have waited an eternity for a new hand to take up my cause. It's been at least a month. I will not give up a potential that 3 carriers, 3 wielders of my might can bring.
Well, it's going to be a lot longer wait when one of us ends up at the bottom of the river. You still attached.
Wouldn't it be all of us?
Not necessarily. I can amputate your hand.
Nova look.
Make a persuasion check.
I pull a hatchet out.
Nova looks just alarmed at hearing half of the conversation.
This is all mental.
Oh, it is? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Everyone
We're all-
except you can hear.
So we're all just staring at each other weirdly, and then suddenly Akash pulls a hatchet out.
So if that's the case, it's all mental. I actually looked at you guys, saw the weird staring contest, shrugged my shoulders, and started filing my nails.
Was there a moment where you were a little upset you weren't the center of attention? You were like, "Fuck it, I need to touch that sword."
No, they're all being weird and
Let me get in there.
whatever. I'm bored.
I was gonna say this must be Nova's worst fear. She's being excluded from the group.
I think
15.
There is a long pause, and you can just sense that it's deliberating before finally it says,
Fine. I will relinquish 2 of you. But one must remain. There is
That seems
evil
fair.
afoot.
Right, so the wizard and I get set free.
Oh, whoa, Mr. Sword Voice. It should go to the most capable of slaying evil.
It's true. You did indicate that she was more capable than you.
Well, honestly, the only way to decide that would be to fight, and it's only fair that he picked you up first. For our duel to decide who gets to own you, he wield you, right?
you can. There's no physical motion, but you can almost see the entity inside the sword turning towards you for a rebuttal.
You feel a shrug.
Nothing to counter that, little one.
I'm thinking. But unfortunately, me thinking is everyone hearing me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, shit. What do I say? Wait, they can hear me. Oh, crap.
Think quieter.
The wizard can slay evil from
No,
far
actually,
distance.
It does make sense.
What?
You know, actually, I do see he has a sword on his hip.
He's actually
Imagine-
surprised with it.
The elves have
A
always been
magic
masters
swordsman.
of sword and spell.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's mostly
elevates you to
skeletal.
new heights. Imagine if you could channel a fireball to slay evil.
I've never channeled fire before.
Then you wouldn't be slaying evil, though, would you? It'd be the fireball.
What's
Yeah,
important
he
is
could-
that I am carried into battle and that evil is slain.
He's actually really quick with a sword. And think about it, he could wave you around and fire.
Look,
you.
shut up!
Akash is leaning against a horse, smiling.
I have to imagine we're all getting really close to each other without saying anything.
Well, all of us are already attached to a small
Yeah.
object.
Yeah, except Akash, who's 10 feet away, going just egging everybody on.
Miss Osborne, God.
So, at this time, I want the three of you to make persuasion checks to try and convince the sword that it
Oh,
wants to
fuck.
stick to somebody else.
Do they
Uh,
all get the +2?
Yeah. We...
No one has attuned yet.
Oh, okay.
There's
Ugh.
toys out here, buddy. The hallway is full of toys.
5.
Gotta
Oh,
roll,
I was about to say I would go first.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I don't
Goblin
like
make- making himself
so
useless.
all I have to do is beat 10, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes!
Tales of your ability to kill, to slay evil, have already been told to me. And I've seen your compassion in how you heal. You are a noble spirit and a noble warrior.
Gex, you feel released. And the second you release the blade, you hear the voice fade from your mind, and the voice says,
Plus, I'm pretty sure goblins are evil little shits, right? That used to be
You
true.
realize I am a hobgoblin, right?
I have chosen the wizard.
and you feel yourself released.
Oh,
Ren, Kestrel.
Trell.
Yeah.
It's just Trell.
If you would just update your name when you get a chance.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Fuck
I
this.
smile the biggest
all-
smile I've ever
I love that the
seen.
sword's a little racist.
It's very old. It comes from a different time.
And that makes it okay. Yeah.
Listen, I expect a lot
Hey,
from
hey,
George Washington.
you know he doesn't
not
mean
that
anything
much.
by it. It's just the word.
Well, think of it this way, Kevin. Vulnerability to all damage doesn't matter if you'd ever get hit.
I mean, that's
It's
true.
perfect for you.
But,
He also has like 7.5 hit points already.
Well, think of it like having 3.5 now.
look, man,
Three
I'm
and
a
a
team
quarter.
player. I already have a magic weapon. I just don't need it. That's all. It's just
Oh, well, I'm a healer. I don't need to attack things anyways.
no, but the rogue does.
Are you guys done? What's going on?
You missed. Wait, is it gone from my head now that Nex is gone from it too?
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, sweet privacy. You're an
Alright.
asshole, and you're... I'm saying this out loud now, aren't I?
Yep.
Hmm.
Gonna
Oh,
look
fuck
around.
it.
Panic.
You're an asshole. I actually like you a lot. You're fine.
Wait, who are you pointing at?
Don't worry about it.
Gonna be kind of panicked, and I'm gonna say, well, I can't wield you very well if my hand's stuck to the blade. You'd have to release me so I can grab the pommel.
Absolutely. Place your other hand upon the blade.
All right, then I'm gonna pull out my sword, the other sword, and do I think the sword will get stuck to the other sword
There is just a deep
if I were to
breath.
touch?
Wait, are you about to dock the swords?
Yeah, totally.
There is just
Hell yeah.
a deep breath, and you hear,
Oh my. Who is she?
Oh lord.
Hello, pretty lady.
Like the sucks between teeth. Just
Like the
He's trying to get his essence for you.
curves
Do you know
on
what I mean?
her.
It's funny because she's a scimitar.
Yeah. God damn it. There's a question actually. Do I think I can? I don't know. You can't really fucking kill a sword. At least not with a sword. Do I think if I touch the blade of Essence Reaver to the this cursed piece of shit and try to run it underneath my hand to just sort of get that, I don't know, either that layer of skin or to sort of wedge my hand off of it. Do I think my sword will get stuck to the cursed sword?
you don't think your sword will get stuck to this sword? At least that's not how you think it works.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a separate question.
Uh-huh.
Do you wear gloves?
No, I don't think so.
Well, that was your first mistake.
Yep. Oh, that was it? I thought you were going to say...
Well, yeah,
another
if you wore
mistake.
gloves, you could just pull your hand out, right?
Well,
The cop
presumably,
says,
but...
"Well, in a year or two, I can grow it back," and chops it off. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm going to try to, wedge my hand off or, slice off the...
Just
I
gonna-
mean, I would imagine I didn't put my whole fucking hand on the thing.
yeah, you
just
probably
sort
got
of
like 2 or 3 fingers.
Yeah,
Just your fingy tips.
yeah, just losing some... I'm going to be a couple fingerprints less after this, but try to get them off.
All right.
Do you want me to try and just burn that layer of skin off?
Is that
Or do you
better?
really want to just... Well, one of them is a controlled use of chemicals, and the other is trying to cut off your fingertips with another sword.
Well, not so much my fingertips. I'm just running it underneath.
Do you realize where the tips of your fingers are?
Right, the tips of my fingers. But I'm not cutting the whole fingertip off. Just the pad of my finger. I mean, fine,
So,
burn it
Nova,
if you
you
like.
seem
I don't
nice.
care.
Where do you get your... I just, make a gesture.
Where do you get your glow? Is it from the moon? I fucking love the moon.
This Osborne
moon
of
visible
Mr.
right
Cock,
now?
or this Ren, fucking... Things are changing for the worse.
I'm just gonna be looking at you holding the sword by your fingertips with a shit-eating grin.
I hate this.
If you
Yami
would
didn't
like-
do something and I'm punished for it.
If you would like
It's
to
wrong,
cut the
Kevin.
pads off of your finger, of your fingies, it's going to be a little bit of damage, but you've got a magically sharp blade. You can make the effort.
Yeah, I'll try. Just shave off the...
All right, what else do you want me to do that for you?
Sure, just, heal it up afterwards, please.
Yep. I do it fast.
Alright.
Like ripping off a band-aid, but it's the tips
Yep.
of his fingers.
Yep.
It's like I licked a cold telephone pole,
Oh,
Yep.
light post.
Swink.
I hate all of these analogies.
It's like you gave a hand job to a frost giant.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
the worst.
I deglove the tips of his fingers.
It went from bad to worse, but not yet
Not quite
to worse.
degloving.
Oh.
It's close, I guess.
You take off the pads of his fingers with one quick stroke, and the voice recedes as it tries to beg you to stop. It collapses onto the ground.
You know what? He didn't work with us. He didn't work with me. So you can fuck off.
I will, as Arthanos is presumably howling in pain, because that shit would hurt.
Yeah.
I will do that where he's waving his hand or flailing his hand around, the stub toe, fuck, ow! I'm trying to catch his hand so I can heal it.
Yeah, just blood
Yeah.
trail. Here. Fucking-
I will cast Cure Wounds again.
Q.
So
How much damage was that, by the way, Tony? Just in case I'm dead.
It's a d6 of damage. I assume a cure wounds will
Okay.
cure it.
I mean, I don't know, man. I would roll Cure Wounds, but
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, alright.
I totally want to get this sword.
You gonna
do
pick it up again?
Tony, do you need
Not
to
with
assign
my
a
hand.
token to the character sheet and then assign me to the token? Because that's kind of what it feels like.
I see there could be a use of this sword.
I mean, the token's still there. You're still assigned. You're in the player. You're using the Akash in the players group, right?
Yep. Is there another Akash?
There is, but
I don't.
You're
see
not on
one. Unless you've got it hidden somewhere, I don't see it.
no, you've got Akash here. Let me put. Maybe Sam needs to be on it.
It's
No,
power.
because we've both been playing on my computer, right?
No, I mean try it now. See what happens.
I would say try renaming the Akash that he doesn't have control of, because maybe it's
a
something we
duplicate issue.
yeah.
Ooh, you actually make a good point because there are some macros involved.
Yeah, that might be it. If
Yeah,
it's
it might not
duplicated.
know what it's supposed to be.
Let's just
trying
make
to-
it Akash. Save changes. Close. Try it again.
I wonder if I need to reload.
Might as well.
Yeah, hang on. Let me reload again.
Oh,
Da-da-da-da. Inspiration
Got
to
it.
Kevin for figuring it out.
hey,
We all did it together as a team.
I'm the one that doesn't work
But-
in IT.
But one of you did it more.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us work in IT. Blake works in cybersecurity, Tony works in networking, and I work in a biopharmacy.
So technically, I work. I like my literal job title. Right. I'm going to school for cybersecurity. I'm an IT consultant right now.
Fuck. Okay.
Sorry. About
Yeah,
Tony,
I
are you
would-
IT or are you a networking specialist?
Networking is IT, is it not?
that.
I mean-
Depends on
Well,
which side of that job title you're on.
I'm actually more on the personnel side.
Fantastic.
So I do a little bit of
Tony's a
everything.
manager.
I do a lot of it. Like they have been having me do more and more network engineering and administration, but I still do like everything from password resets to sysadmin stuff.
I used to be a desktop service technician, but I have worked for the school board a few years now.
That job sounded like it sucked. I'm glad you kept tabs on that lady to fuck her over.
I loved the job. That was a fantastic job. I just went around fixing shit. Like, oh, your computer's not working? Hey, let me take it back to my shop. Come back with it in an hour. Like, I love that job. The woman that I worked with was awful. But
That's what I mean.
digress.
I mean more the environment.
Yeah, no, she was shit. You cut the pads off. Gex,
And then I-
you said that sword looked fun for you?
It could be useful, but I'm gonna try to like wrap it in something and never touch it with my hands,
So,
if this is possible.
so what's interesting
Like a
is,
falconer's glove.
Arthanos discards a sword, steps towards Akash, and starts to get healed. And as he's pacing towards Akash, the sword on the ground, almost like it's being held by an invisible leash, just drags through the dirt behind him.
Ugh.
I'll as I'm holding Arthanos' hands, I'll look over his shoulder and be like, "I think you've got a fan."
What? This is like the fucking snail that's just walking, like slowly moving towards you, but if it touches you, it'll kill you.
Yeah, I love that thread. It was so good.
It's a
Fucking-
Tonberry.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
Uh, That's interesting.
You
is
know,
that the word?
It is when it's not following you.
Ugh.
So, not to be a bitch, but it's been like an hour about you guys.
Oh, no,
Oh,
if you'd like to pick that up for us, it'd be a big help.
Do you want more compliments on your maroon number 5 scarf?
You like you. Okay, we can keep chatting as we head back to our quarters.
I just want to point out, I didn't compliment it. I asked you if you wanted more.
It was insinuated.
Well, I did insinuate it.
Yes. Okay. Tell me
What
about.
happened? Oh.
What?
Oh.
What's happening?
I think Yami's house just exploded.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's just him normally.
Maybe he finally tracked down the racist guy that keeps pretending to be him.
Yeah.
The
Somewhere around here.
Or 3 hours ago when he said, "Hey man, when I turn my oven on, should it smell like gas?" I went, "Yeah, it's probably fine." Just caught up with him. It wasn't fine.
As long
Yummy,
as-
what were you gonna say? Fuck!
I
He
was going
asking if the moon
to
was out.
say, what happens if I go between sword and its apparently owner?
So you step in between it, and if he continues to walk forward, it will continue to drag behind him. It's like it can't get more than 5 feet away.
It's like it's bonded.
Oh no. What if we put a rock on it?
Unless it's Thor's hammer, you expect that it's going to keep following.
But I don't like this. Where did you get this from? Look at Gex.
I'm not a gnome lady. Just fixing my my sleeping arrangement.
What? She gave it to you.
I gave it to myself.
Just
I like this
face
guy.
in hand. I will fucking just use Mage Hand to pick it up, I guess.
Oh, does it get stuck to the mage hand?
I mean, the Mage Hand stops existing when I stop using it, so. Or at least it should.
Mage Hand isn't
You know-
concentration, is it?
Let's
That is an
just roll.
excellent workaround, though.
It's not.
No, but it only lasts 1 minute.
Okay. You pick it up with Mage Hand, and
Yep.
it seems to not have the same effect as a person touching it. It can move it, drop it.
Okay. And now if I hold it more than 30 feet away, or not more than, but like 30 feet away from me, what happens?
You try to push it out beyond 5 feet, and it's like it hits an invisible barrier.
Hate
Think of
this.
it this way: you
So
just
what if you guys do
reinvented
a
the
D&D
spell
session?
spirit weapon or whatever, spiritual weapon.
What'd you guys do last D&D session? Well,
All right, so we have to
God.
sheath it. We've dealt with animated swords before. You sheath it, then it turns into an animated bat.
I mean, I guess less
No, we did
dangerous,
this. We did this with
I
Trent,
guess.
and then it beat us in the sheath.
This is a good time.
amazing.
Switch. All right. Was it? Like, come with me. We're giving it back.
Yeah, sure. I'm gonna stay at least 7 feet away from you at all times.
All right.
Hate this.
You
Going back.
head back to the castle. As you get near the gates, you'll see that it looks like the confusion with the Ironclad Regiment has been worked
Oh
out.
yeah, them. I forgot about them. Sorry.
And that they've been allowed to approach into the city. Looks like they're being kept separately. They're being funneled away. They're trying to make sure that no one impersonating the regiment is actually involved. But apparently Cudgel has a little bit of fame to her name, and she is making quick work with the guards. She gives you kind of a thumbs up, and you'll even see Darrett, and he just kind of shrugs at you. He looks pretty solemn overall, but you can make your way up to the castle and to your quarters while they're getting situated.
Garrett, would you like a sword?
Actually, Darrett might be the perfect choice.
I mean,
We should just set Darrett
That
up to
kid-
be the hero of the entire story.
Worships
I'm sure-
all of you.
I am sure that there will be no repercussions to giving a pretty impressionable young knight who just lost his hero to the Dragon Queen's army a sword who is insistent on slaying whatever it thinks is evil in front of it.
yeah.
What
Okay,
could possibly
Then
go wrong?
let's get like an old pounding stone, like they had these before anvils were a thing, and we convince somebody to make a hole in it that fits the sword. We put the sword in the stone, and then we have him make a test to see if he's the chosen hero. But of course, it's a bait, right? And then he can be King Arthur.
Yeah, but there-
Is giving a
And that-
kid authority to kill whatever thing it thinks is evil Osborne's backstory?
It sure sounds like it.
I mean,
So, what are you guys doing?
I mean, trying to get rid of this fucking sword.
Would you like to go back to Rukeldust's shop? Well, her new workshop.
I mean, that was the plan, unless something stopped it. I was joking about the Darrett thing.
All right.
no.
You make your way up to her floor and find your way to her shop. You can see, in fact, she is currently working on a footlocker.
Yeah.
What was her first name again?
Tatina, I believe.
Did Tina?
Tina.
Yeah.
I remember it was like Tina, but just different. Excuse me, Tatina. I'm afraid, might need your help quickly.
I'm already helping you. I said I would help
no,
one
I
of you
don't
one
believe you are.
time.
Alright, well, I found something that I believe belongs to you. And by found, I mean, he took it.
She turns to look over her shoulder. What does she see as far as the relationship of you and the sword?
Sword's floating to my right.
I'm 7 feet behind.
A hand, like a spectral green hand holding it.
So, you've stolen my sword.
No, I didn't. Then I'm gonna look at Gex.
That does
Hello,
seem
me.
pretty
Place the
evil.
sword on the ground and take a step forward.
We know what's gonna happen there, and then I'll do it.
Sure looks like you've stolen the sword.
No, I tried to get it off of him and her. Like you're with us, right, Austin?
Hmm?
Kestrel is here, I mean.
Oh, yes.
Did everybody come, or was it just me? Okay. They had their hands on it. I tried to help them get it off, and then it let them off, but not me.
It sure seems like I'm not holding a sword.
So, this happened
that's
as a
all.
result of taking it off of you, Gex?
I've never seen that sword ever.
Shit!
Including right now.
Make a deception check, including right now. You're just looking straight up at the ceiling. Make a deception. Oh my god! How did this?
Jesus Christ!
Amazing.
Yes. Oh,
The thing is, Gex has shown a great interest in my work. He often has been found looking over my tools and items and has never stolen anything before. But you. There's something cold
I
about
haven't
you.
stolen anything before either.
Evidence would suggest otherwise.
Why would I bring it back?
I'm assuming that you struggled to get rid of it once you realized its effects.
I just glare at fucking Gex. I hate this. Look, I promise you, I didn't steal it.
I'm really disappointed in you, Orthonos.
Hand is just going on the face. I cast Disintegrate. No. Take one of you fucks with me.
On
I'm
myself.
gonna tie a band around your arm first, cut off the blood circulation.
My arm? Why my arm? Look, just take it back. I didn't steal it. I try to persuade. There's no chance I can fucking beat that, though.
She puts on a big pair of gloves, and she walks over, and she touches the sword with just one fingertip, and she says, "Hello, me again." And you hear the sword shudder, like recoils. You. Yes, me. Before we go into more dialects about the analytical measures of using Xeon as an industrial agent for feasing, let's talk about how you got to be free of my workshop. It was the little one. The little one did it. Thank you. And she releases her hand, pulls out the glove, and the glove falls free. And she says, "Gex, how are you doing?"
Fine. You could use gloves on that? That's
Didn't
cool.
I say that earlier?
I shrug.
The problem is most people grip with their whole hand, in which case you also lack the motor control to free your hand for multiple reasons. It's a very effective bonding agent. Now, Gex, I'm just curious about your footlocker over here. It seems that you've chosen to paint flames onto it. I only wonder why you chose the half measure. And she pushes your footlocker into the forge.
Oh no!
Get fucked.
Can I save it?
You may try.
Jump into the forge.
It is currently a coal bed of heat, and you'll suffer some fire damage to try to pull it out. Make an athletics check. All right, you suffer 4d6 fire damage. Feel free to roll it.
Jesus.
But you are able to wrestle your footlocker free, and because it was in so briefly, it's blackened in a few spots, soot covered, dirty, but largely unharmed.
I'm guessing there's no extra wheels on it, huh?
There are 2 holes in it, though.
That's just a standard footlocker, isn't it?
It's mine.
No, it's
Can't
got
you just
flames on it. Don't you
Get
see?
another one?
I'm gonna grab it and like full hug it and just run out of the room.
She'll ask for you to come over and sit at the table, and it's very awkward what she's doing. It looks like she's assembling a puzzle box of small metal pieces. But when she has finished doing so, it looks almost like this thick clockwork amulet, which she simply sets on the blade. And all at once you hear the voice and the presence fade, and you can free yourself from it.
Thank fuck. Oh. Thank you. What exactly is that, by the way?
This is a paradox machine.
I've read that book.
The sword or the amulet?
The amulet.
What exactly does it do?
Constructs like this aren't really entities. They aren't spirits that have been possessed by a sword. I mean, sometimes they are, but not in this case. In this particular example, it's an abstract nature of magic to permeate into the material and form into a sort of cognizant awareness. They usually have simple motivations, and as their power wanes, they become even more simple. This device simply creates for them a scenario that binds their consciousness into something that they can't understand. Like a paradox.
But it can understand what evil is?
Oh, this weapon, when fully charged on the blood of evil, becomes quite powerful. And as it does, its awareness increases. It becomes much more the conversationalist.
But what determines what evil is?
I don't believe it's an abstract or a rule set that's based on anything that we could quantify. Likely the first inventor of the weapon, or wielder of it, imparted some aspect of their characteristics onto that awareness.
So evil is whatever I convince it is?
I mean, if you could change its mind. I find that
It
this
doesn't
particular
seem
one
very
seems
hard.
rather resistant to change. But that is a problem for another time.
Yeah, or we just leave the sword here.
Yes, that would be excellent. I mean, unless you want to take the sword for experimental purposes, I would allow that.
So,
I mean, I'm good.
yeah, I don't particularly want it, but if we were to grab it now, it would still have those adhesive properties, correct?
Oh, I imagine. Right now, it's just confused. Without this amulet to keep it confused, it would likely exert its former ways.
Right. Well, I have no intention of touching it. Perhaps Gex will come by and take it again.
She points a finger at you, and she's a little person, so she points up at all of you, and she says, If any of you steals from me again, I will shit in places that will leave you confused for years. And then she turns back to her work.
Didn't know how to respond to that.
I'm sorry, who is this sassy creature?
She's an ally?
I like her.
Oh, I don't know why, but that reminds me. We've an invitation has been extended to you from. Have you ever wanted to learn about smithing from a dhow?
What of the Jinn?
Right.
She puts her equipment down and seems genuinely inquisitive about it. You have a dhow that's willing to teach the secrets of their smithing?
Just to be clear here, we all did decide that this was the
Oh, yeah.
answer, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not. Okay. I don't want to be making this decision for everybody. But
No,
like,
no, no.
we
This is,
decided.
we all thought this was the best choice. Or at least the most fun.
Right. So we just dealt with I've fucking forgotten the name of the mine again.
Gilderroot.
Gilderroot. We've just dealt with a situation at the Gilderroot mines, and it turns out there was a dhow down there. Anyway, the relevant part here is that she's agreed to teach someone magical tricks and whatnot related to smithing and all that. So you can go learn from her if you like.
She stands up, walks over to the far wall, starts to put on a coat.
That was quick.
And just throws, like, very much the equivalent of a, what is it? Brian knows the name of it. The homeless sack, like, you know, just the bag on a stick.
Bindle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It's a bindle, isn't it?
There's
Yeah,
another name.
it is
I
a
think.
bindle. There's a funny name for it.
Yeah. Brian would know it. Anyways, she just throws it together, and she says, "I'll be gone, and I'll be back."
There are some on-kegs on the way there. You might want to wait until the daytime, but I suppose it's up to you.
I'll bring extra horses. And she, honestly, she starts to shoo you out of her shop so that she can lock up and leave, as she says, "Oh, by the way, I had one of my far gabs delivered to your room. I instructed the aides here to create a new one so that you could keep in touch with your command. Unfortunately, the governor seems to be useless, so he has not approved the project yet. But imagine once he does, you'll have a working far gab."
Oh, all right. Thank you.
She
Good
gives you
luck with
a quick nod and says, "Sounds like I'm the one that should be thanking you. Most of you. I even forgive Gex." Maybe.
So you're just gonna leave that there? I just pointed the sword.
I'll lock the door.
Okay.
I mean, really. Whoever steals it is bound to return it to me sooner than later.
Well, if they steal the amulet too, it won't be that hard, right?
You're right! She walks over and she takes the amulet.
I have your best interest at heart.
She gives you a nod. All right. Shoo, shoo,
Does
shoo.
the sword
Way to go.
Does the sword start following Arthanos again?
It does not. It seems like the effect has been broken.
Okay.
We did it.
We did it. We dealt with Yami's punishment all on our own.
Gex over there.
Fucking piece of shit.
Gex over there selling solutions to problems that he caused.
As we walk out, everyone, Gex, where'd you get that axe? What?
It's like stuck to my forehead.
What axe?
Oh, so now that you know the glove trick, I wait till after she leaves. You don't really need the amulet, right?
Don't encourage him.
I'm just pointing out something.
Just remember that that sword wanted you more than it wanted him, and it will find a way. It seems
Oh,
like.
But we're both goblins. I feel like we're safe now.
All right. Well, Orthonos is pretty useful, so let's just leave the sword here. And also my friend. I should have started with that.
Jay, thanks. That's your, yeah, really inspires confidence. I
But I
prefer
got
we
this.
don't have it though, or at least it not come near me.
Yeah.
This
Uh,
is
we should
quite a
probably-
workshop.
We should probably check with Darrett and find out. Let him know that, that wasn't the enemy, and also probably see how he's doing after the whole Ren situation. Hey, so Darrett is this kid that aspired to be a knight and basically worshipped the ground your brother walked on, and
Why?
somebody may have sort of spilled the beans about what happened to Ren in the least tactful way possible, and Darrett basically thought his favorite puppy died.
Well, that's just like when our first horse died.
Yeah, Ren cried for days.
No, he tried to kill himself twice.
Oof.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Really bad at it, too.
There's so much to unpack there. Let's go talk to Derek.
Yeah.
I mean, I did worse to him.
Didn't kill him.
Almost.
You never had siblings.
I'll
I
catch
never
up.
had siblings.
Okay, so
What'd
you're
you say?
seeking out Darrett.
Yes.
Not too hard to find.
All of the sobs.
Well, he's pretty busy, it seems like. Even though the Ironclad Regiment turned out to be friendly forces returning, there's a lot that he's doing to get people back in step. And you can see that his position with the people of Vogler seems to have transitioned more into a leadership role. You know, at first, last you had heard he was just training them up, but you can see that he's actually sort of guiding them, giving them tips, and even as they're breaking down, they're not needed. He says, hey, good thing is we didn't have to fight tonight. We were only like the third reserve for emergencies, but we could have done a lot better at getting assembled. It's important that we have, our gear stowed in specific ways so that we can react quickly. And he's just kind of telling him this old wisdom that is clearly not his own. He's obviously learned a lot from Becklin in the time that they spent together. But
So he's crushing it.
yeah, he's not doing bad. In the sense that, some of the people that he's giving, advice or commands to are probably 10, 20 years his senior. They seem to be taking it well. There's some genuine respect going back and forth there. But if you give him a moment to finish up, he'll approach each of you, and he says, "That was a welcome relief. Glad that it was just the Ironclad."
Yeah. So, how you doing there, buddy?
You mean about Ren?
Yeah.
I'm not happy about it, but I think that's part of being a knight, means following your convictions. Sounds like he's found his somewhere else.
So, it's okay to say you think he was wrong.
I think that he thinks he's not wrong.
Sure. But, it's okay to be angry, right?
Maybe it's okay. I don't see how it's going to be productive.
Sometimes it's not about being productive, bud.
He kind of looks a little weird for a moment, and he shakes his head. Sorry, you just remind me of someone else.
Yeah. I get that a lot.
I appreciate what you're doing, but I'm okay. I don't need to be fixed right now.
I have rolled insight.
He's okay. You think
in that he's bottled it all up and is like not dealing with that right now.
you think that it is something that he's kind of shelved,
Mm-hmm.
but you also don't think that that's uncommon for the way that he deals with things.
Sure.
You know, it's sort of like dissociative coping. You know, you just
Mhm.
distract yourself and you deal with it in pieces rather than trying to take it on all at once.
Yeah. I mean, let's get real. D&D is therapy for all of us.
Yeah, like if somebody doesn't, create a quest that you want to use in a playful montage, and then you need to like hate them, but you also can't like hate them outright because they're your friend.
Yeah. So you disassociate a little bit.
Yeah.
You make,
Don't know when that happened.
you make a curse sword that's just
That he immediately punishes his friends with.
Shit.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to use swords. What's a sword?
All right. Well, listen. For what it's worth, sometimes I just go break shit. So if you ever want to do that, let me know.
I'll let you know. But I expect things will only get more exciting from here.
Uh-huh.
Might have a chance to break things in a more advancing direction.
Sure.
Gives you a slight grin, a little bit forced, and he'll kind of make his way away unless somebody else wants to speak to him.
Well, I think we were trying to figure out if he had anything for us to do in the immediate future.
Darrett says he doesn't, but they were hoping to give you guys a couple of days of rest, and provided that this whole mess with everything being disorganized doesn't make anything worse, they should have something here soon.
Oh boy. All right. Well, let's do stuff. Wait. We're missing some. Where's Kestrel? Who was supposed to watch her? How did we, like, already?
We were supposed to watch her?
I mean, it's Ren's sister, man.
You hear a distant explosion.
Yeah.
To be fair, she seemed a lot more competent than Ren already.
I mean, while that's true, that sounded an awful lot like an explosion. I will head back towards the gnome's workshop.
Yeah.
Kestrel, what are you trying to do in the empty gnome's workshop?
Well, there are chemicals here, right?
There were.
Yeah, I'm playing with those.
Do you try to make anything in particular?
Make anything? I just want to see what she's in the process of making.
Oh. Everything.
And
Poisons, potions,
Now, that gnome is
anti-venom.
definitely like if ADHD had ADHD.
Cool.
Some
Is
that
any of
heal,
it
some that
completed?
deal, some that reel. What?
Is any of it completed?
Roll a d100.
Yeah. And for Austin's next character,
I still got the mother left. I got one left.
Speed
33.
running death by gnome.
I think at this point his mom would be a forge cleric since the gods are coming back.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I can do that. That could be kind of fun.
How do you feel about that, Tony?
She's not dead yet, though.
Yeah.
This
Give it-
is.
I mean, I just gotta have it like chambered, right?
That's fair, yeah. Seems likely at this point.
You find a complete Riddle Me Gone. This is a potion of awareness, wisdom, and insight, and it instantly gives you the cure to a single riddle.
So I label it immediately because that is the thing I notice about this workshop is there's labels on nothing or there are 8 labels on the same thing. So I immediately label this in my own vial, Sphinx food, and then I will pack that away.
You find 2 vials of. I think it's a potion of recovery. What was the thing that Osborne showed up with?
It's potion of spell slot recovery.
Yeah.
Moon juice.
It wasn't at 1d4 plus 1. I mean, I deleted them because he used them, but
I think it is a potion of recovery, and it restores 1d4 plus 1 spell slots. Levels worth of spell slots. Everything else seems like it is currently in brewing process.
Okay, then I'll try and finish one poison that is currently here. Anything that I think that would help either kill draconians, kill dragons, or cure paralysis, like petrification. One of those three things. Whatever you like, I can make you a medicine check to finish it.
You do find a couple of potions of restoration. They are effectively a greater restoration in a vial. They are pretty far from completion, though. Not necessarily a time effort, more of a skill effort. Like they're going to take some nursing.
Do I feel like I'm ready for that? That's something I could do tonight?
That would be punching a bit above your weight class, but it's not. It is feasible.
Okay, I get my notes together for the last one, and I'll come back to it.
All right. We're going to wrap this up here. So, Austin, remind me about this. Sam and Blake, remind me about the worm rune.
I found it. Sorry, I found the notes. I actually was able to go into the chat log and just search worm.
Fair enough.
Took a little bit, but I got there.
And next week we're going to do that montage.
What montage? The memory?
No, that might be ready next week. It might be 2 weeks. I'd say be ready for next week. But the montage is
the missions and stuff.
Yes, it's going to be a couple of missions that you're going to do here to kind of talk about how the war is advancing around you. I'm going to be doing it a little differently than usual, so I'm going to give you some prep time. It's going to be an extended skill challenge. So if I ask you to seriously describe, and this is for anybody who wants to answer, how would you describe D&D in 3 words? Not as a joke, but as a serious, how would you do it?
Interactive roleplay game?
I was going to say chaotic drunk raccoons, but...
Adults playing pretend.
I would say collaborative storytelling.
So that's how I would describe it.
That's 2 words.
I don't know if that's hyphenated or not.
Game.
Yeah.
Storytelling is 1 word, isn't it?
I'll allow it. I don't care.
Collaborative storytelling game. There you go, Austin.
So,
it's fantastic.
We're going to do an extended skill challenge. And what that means, there's going to be more narration between individual events in the skill challenge. Only usually I assign you a challenge and I give you an avenue to find creative ways to find cool things to do to get out of it. Mm-hmm. But if you've ever seen The Good Place,
yes,
you know that it's often fantastic if you just get them to torture each other. So instead, whoever is the quest holder, the person that made the quest prompt, so in this case it'll be Sam and Kevin, you're going to start it off by creating the challenge that the next player in the initiative is going to face. And then that player has to come up with a solution to the current set challenge, try it out, and then create the next challenge for the player that follows.
Interesting.
And there might be some vetoes, or I might interject or describe some things, but you're going to kind of create your own hellscape for each other.
Okay.
So this sword thing was just a precursor.
I didn't expect it to take that long.
I like
You
that.
underestimate.
I thought I was just going to get stuck with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I did too.
So
I didn't think the blade was going to be sticky.
the only way the
What Tony
sword
did to
can be
Brian.
destroyed is if you destroy it where it was made, which is where one of the quests would take you. So like I thought that it was going to be there for a while. But hey, good job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that's
quick, I
sword.
guess.
We convinced it.
Just a little behind the scenes. The best way to get rid of the sword is just to convince it that you're evil. So
I thought then it would have just made you stab yourself.
it has no abilities to control you. It has no compulsion. It just really wants you to kill evil.
I mean, kind of like the minute it found out that Custer was a hobgoblin, it just pieced out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just nope.
I was expecting to be a really old goblin in 2 sessions.
Me too.
That was gonna be a good
Like, I
time.
was expecting that of you.
And goblins only live to what, like 25, 30?
90.
Google said 60.
Yeah, they live full human lifespans. They just are really stupid, so they die at like 10.
Fair enough. But that's what we're gonna try. We'll see how it works. If it's terrible, we'll never do it again. But we'll see how we can incorporate
I
the
liked when you did
spontage.
that last time. I don't know if you remember, but in the Goblin one shot where you went to the like realm of greed, you also did something like that. It was good then.
It's been so long. I don't remember.
We went.
I've
to
done
the
something like
maze.
this before,
Yeah,
but I don't remember.
yeah, I remember it. And I threw spiders on somebody. I think.
So wait, Tony, to make sure I understand. So is this we're creating the skill challenge within the stories that we sent you, or we're
Right.
supposed to send you?
So we're going to start with like the basic prompts. So not all the details that came out of them, because I think they were largely a little over detailed.
How dare
Instead,
you.
you're
I
going to
work-
get the basic prompt, and since you'll be going first on one of them, Sam, you'll say, "This is the prompt. This is the first challenge that we find," and it's going to go to the next person in the initiative. Let's say it's Kevin. Kevin will have to come up with a skill that solves that challenge. And then he'll create a challenge for the next one, and so on until it circles all the way back to you. And you'll kind of have to bring it home. And I'm going to try and guide it in some places so that it has a rough outline of what you guys provided. But it might go off rails because you guys will be collaboratively telling a story, so it might go a different direction.
Because we go off the rails.
Yeah,
Cool.
Okay.
I like it.
yeah, I love it.
So I don't need to rewrite my story because my last one definitely involved a lot of Ren.
Yeah, no.
Whoops.
But, that first challenge that you mentioned is perfectly viable for other people. So, feel free to throw it back out. Just keep in mind, like, if you guys are just like, oh, the challenge is we slept in too late and had a big breakfast, suddenly dragons.
Suddenly dragon.
Well, no, the
Noted.
food ended up actually being organic mimics that then live in your stomach, like parasites.
I hate.
Dungeon
I
Meshi.
would
Oh.
love a tapeworm, honestly. Like,
I would
it's
not.
got to be so good for losing weight.
I would kill myself. What a horrifying. You realize you can shit the end of that tapeworm out?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
it's
then
just
actually-
dangling out your ass?
You
Kevin,
can
Yeah,
actually
pull it
shit
out.
the entire tapeworm
the
out.
surface level of this examination was just a simple joke. Right?
I know.
When
but like,
you add
I
more details
I
to
cannot
it,
abide.
it's not fun anymore.
It's horrifying.
You're the fun killer.
Yeah, I had fun once. It was awful.
I would just pull it out.
Is that a Reno 9/9 joke?
And I'm out. Bye, guys.
It's perfectly fine to leave after he starts talking about full body flossing.
Yeah. That's
To be
not
fair,
what it
though-
turns out.
To be
That was
fair,
it.
though,
Thanks for playing. Goodbye.
Yeah, so
Bye.
to be fair though, between your mouth and your anus isn't actually inside your body. From a scientific perspective, it is not actually the inside of your body. That whole portion is outside of the body.
Do you know what's great about that comment?
What?
Your sphincter can close, brud. Like it.
Yeah,
those
like,
things
so
shut.
what
Doesn't
you're
matter,
saying-
it's still
Or
external.
what you're saying is the inside of my house is not actually the inside of my house because there's a door on either end?
Not quite, but like if it, like medically speaking, the whole esophageal and oral to anal tract
Well,
there
you know
is
that's
external.
really weird because I think stomach ulcers still cause internal bleeding.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because then you're fucking opening up a hole between the outside of the body and the inside.
Did you
Nope, that's a
know-
fistula.
But it's internal bleeding because you're bleeding inside of you.
Yeah,
just saying, go
an
ask a
ulcer.
doctor, man.
What you're discussing is a fistula, where a hole forms. An ulcer is not a hole.
The whole
No, you're
point
right.
of that isn't really the point. The point is if you are bleeding into your stomach, it's internal bleeding, not external bleeding.
No, I know. I'm saying like, so if my inside of my house is outside because my front and back door are both open to the outside, and thus you could walk through.
Like, I realize it sounds weird, but from a medical perspective, it is true that the whole tract is outside the body. Like, it's
In
external.
what field of medicine?
Medicine.
See, I'm thinking like you get a paper towel roll, right? And if you put a coin in it, it's in the hole, and it's in the paper towel roll.
I wouldn't say it's in the paper towel roll. It's like moving through the cardboard tube. I would say,
I
like,
could move my
paper towel.
foot through your ass, but it wouldn't be inside of it.
The interior of the esophagus, stomach, intestines are technically outside of your body.
Yep.
It's like a
Yep.
10-meter long tunnel that communicates freely with your external environment.
it's
Yeah,
a through
the
hole.
alimentary canal. It has a name,
Like I said,
and it includes.
I see. Go ahead.
Well, it looks like. Oh no, it doesn't. I'm sorry. I thought it included the ear canals that dump into your throat.
I see the point that it's making. I understand it, but
It's
it's a
technically outside.
stupid ass point.
Yep.
Yeah,
Even from a technical standpoint.
because if you want to like simplify the human body into like a tube, that's fine. Like I'm with you there, but saying
we
that's
have-
outside of your body is just dumb.
This
It
is
is.
why.
Oh,
It's
it's
missing the
technically
point of
correct,
the
but
argument.
like, it's one of those where like, yeah, it's technically correct, but mechanically or factually,
Or
I
like
guess actually,
Actually,
usefully
it
dumb.
yeah, usefully. There you go. Thank you. Technically correct, but usefully incorrect.
depends what you mean by usefully, because it's medically relevant that it's, external.
So this is communication, right? Like the purpose of communication is that you can convey something. So if you try to say, "Oh, I'm hurt outside my body," but you really mean you have like a rectal tear or intestinal perforation, like that's not conveying what you want it to say.
Yeah,
And, like
the
even a
context.
doctor is going to hear that and be like, well, I better start checking for, a puncture wound on
External
his belly,
wounds,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, if you just vaguely say I have a wound outside my body, that's not very specific. I agree.
It's misleading. And if you break it down any more specifically than that, then you've gone fully past a simple explanation to a complex one, in which case the simple communication failed. Says I. It's like, this is stuff that might technically be true, but it still bothers me. Like statistics. If, let's say Margaret, this is a fun one. Let's say Margaret has 2 children. All right. One of them is a boy. What is the probability that the other child is also a boy?
How deep do you want to get into this? Are we talking
I'm gonna
about
give you the
like
simple
chromosomes, like XXXY? Because there's XXY,
There's
XYY.
2 outcomes for that second child, right? It could be a
No,
boy or
I
it could be
just
a girl.
established there's 4. But
Yep.
okay,
We're not talking about intersexed. So
that's a okay.
It's very rare, Austin, to be fair.
1/2.
that would be wrong.
I know it's wrong.
It's probably like 60%, but because of the twins and stuff like that.
Close, but not
It's
correct.
for the wrong reasons.
Yes.
It's the same reason when you have a game show and there are 3 choices, you reveal one and they ask you if you want to pick the other one that they didn't reveal. You
Yeah,
always
that
do
pisses
that
me
because
off.
technically your probabilities of being correct increase by like 12%.
That's actually
But
very
doesn't make-
close.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Right.
Yeah, it makes
Like,
no
logically.
sense.
If they have
It's
one
the same
boy,
reason-
the chances of them having another boy should be 1 in 2, but it's actually 1 in 3.
Yep, because the boy's already established. It gives you a third thing that's already revealed. It's
Because
I hate it.
because technically in statistics, boy is different than boy older boy younger boy is different than younger boy older boy, and same with the girls. So
Yeah.
even though it's only a boy or a girl option, because one of them can come before the other, it's a different arrangement, and you get 1 in 3 because there's
The different
This is-
four
probability
choices
matrix.
total.
Actually, my next
probability doesn't
class I
exist.
have to take
It's
this this semester is probability and statistics, and I'm really not stoked about
I would
it.
fail that class 10 times out of 10.
I fully intend to fail it.
Well, so
I-
the
I-
issue is, once you've taken an engineering class where everything is practical, none of it means anything to you anymore. What are the choices? What's the chance of flipping heads 4 times in a row?
So it's interesting you say that because if you
one
ask
half.
if you ask any technician, nothing about engineers is practical. Engineers
What
are
type
the
of
problem.
engineers are you talking about? Because
Yeah.
there's a correct answer here.
Ones
The
that aren't
worst
you?
type of engineers are civil engineers.
Mechanical engineers, electrical engineers.
I will give you everything except for design,
Okay.
which is engineering.
Okay. All right.
But because it's all theoretical, it's all practical.
So that's the thing, right? The theoretical part is the problem because I have been on the phone with an engineering team discussing a broken part on a prototype motorcycle and literally had, well, I couldn't do that. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm holding the parts in my hand. Well, on paper, stop, because we're not on paper. We have it. It's here. I'm holding it. Broken. You know, just because
You
you
had the
designed it
worst
not to
kinds
break.
of engineers.
What's that?
You had the worst kinds of engineers. There's
Yeah.
a margin of error for everything, literally everything.
But it's like our joke in like I have a T-shirt somewhere that literally says technicians because engineers need heroes.
Do you know like who the heroes to engineers are?
Technicians.
I was gonna say the marketing team.
It's just
Ooh,
it's
that's
because
actually
engineers
good,
like mechanical and electrical engineers, everything works great on paper. It's usually some yokel just out of school, and it is what is the most appropriate path to final construction, not what is the most serviceable path post construction, right?
I still think like production leads are the issue there because it's not the engineer's job to make it work, it's to conceive of it. And then I guess you're right, the technicians need to actually handle the bullshit, but like really you're looking at manufacturing that's fucking up, right?
Well, also, you know, there's a
Well,
big
no, like, when you
communication
design-
severance between engineers and everyone else.
And it's
Sure.
wild.
Well, it's generally a an Asperger's difference.
Delicious.
So like I when I was younger, I worked in automotive and I worked for Mazda for a while, and like the Mazda Tribute is a great example of this. It's a Ford Escape. Okay, it has a transverse mounted V6, so a sideways mounted V6. So you have two sides of that motor. One is against the firewall and under the exhaust manifold. The other is out in front of the radiator, or out by the radiator, and very easy to access. So where do you think the engineer put the fucking electrical component that is an alternator? If
By
your answer was
wheel.
it's a 9.5 hour flat rate job because you have to pull the motor most way out and disconnect the transmission, you'd be right because they stuffed that failing electric component under an exhaust manifold against a firewall that it didn't actually fit in.
That's fucking wild.
That is not abnormal. That is a very normal. That's what I'm talking about when I say like, oh, it worked on paper. Like, great, man, but like that is a serviceable component.
So
Working on paper should include not like breaking a component against
But it
firewall.
doesn't. That's what I'm saying. But it doesn't ever with
That
mechanical
just
and
seems
electrical
like there
engineers.
wasn't any quality proofing for that design.
the Chrysler 300, which is a car that I really, really liked while it was, you know, relevant.
Yep, I wanted one for a long time.
They're really, I think they're just really nice, like affordable luxury vehicles. Like they look like they're better than they are, and like I respect that.
Yeah, like pre 100,000 miles, those things look rad.
Yeah. So the battery terminals are in the wheel well, so you have to remove the tire to get to it.
It was actually
That's
most
What the
Cadillac automobiles, not the SUVs, but most of the modern Cadillac automobiles, you have to remove a wheel, an inner fender well, and part of the front bumper to get to the headlight. And then you have to go further to get to the battery.
I hate this. In fact,
Yep.
I'm leaving.
Turbo
Bye.
recharge kit. See ya.
Or how about like when they did the when Ford went from the 7.3 liter diesel to the 6 liter diesel, and now in order to do major mechanical maintenance, you have to remove the cab from the truck
The fuck?
I get
to do
nervous.
pretty much anything beyond like air filter and oil change. You have to remove the cab from the truck.
That's retarded.
I get nervous like taking like. So I detailed my car this past weekend, and I was going to take the seats out, like just to like get a great vacuum underneath them. And my car is kept relatively clean because I don't eat in it, and like I'm pretty good about kicking my shoes off. But still, I was like, oh man, it's only 4 bolts. Take the seat out, but that makes me nervous. Like, I'm just, you know what? I'll just get in there with like an extension. Like taking the cab out, I would fucking die. I would just give
I mean,
up.
but this has been my whole life, right? Like it's just you get used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure
but it's
you're
always,
good at it, but like I get
it's always-
intimidated by stuff like that.
It's always the joke though, like fucking engineers, you know.
It's just
Like
so
it-
stupid. Like it doesn't make sense from any.
Oh, I've got ton. Even with Harley, like I've been with Harley for a long time, and I could give you so many examples